type shit.
Stop playing with me, Drake.
DJ K.
Come on, I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval day, I really do it for the kids. Getting checks, never gotta work a job. No Viagra, dick still get hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you ever. Aunties get down on the floor. Show these poor ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Week 94. Is she under 24? It's a no. Come on, I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share.
If you want to support, hit up my Cash App at $UncB Streaming. Any donation will be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
Shout out to all my people checking me out on Rumble. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Show some love, y'all.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
What's good, nieces and nephews? Welcome back to UncB Streaming with another episode of Insomniac Theater. Shout out to Team No Sleep, to all my nocturnal people. Either you working a graveyard shift, or you're driving somewhere, or you just fucking up just like me. Shout out to y'all. Like I always say, we are this much closer to being Batman, just off our sleeping patterns alone. So when you feel kind of bad about how you can't sleep at night, or you be like, man, I need to get more sleep, just remember, this is the life of Batman. So we closer than any other people in this country, just off our sleep patterns alone. What they say, when life give you lemons, you make lemonade, right? So that's the little sip of lemonade that I found with my badass sleeping patterns. Just a little more equipped to protect Gotham because I can't sleep at night. Now it's a couple other steps I gotta take, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh man, so I got a good show planned for you guys. You know, it's late night. It's unorganized organization over here because it's 1:04 a.m. where I'm at, and it's Insomniac Theater. We some nocturnal people over here. So how much organization you really want from a nigga at 1:05 a.m.? Now it might be a different time wherever you all at, but that's what I'm working with here. So I like to talk about anything and everything over here because during this late night Insomniac Theater show. But tonight we back on some survival shit. Now, when I usually talk about this, I always go with the zombie apocalypse survival, a zombie apocalypse, right? Not because I think that's the most realistic situation we'll be in, even though it's not as unrealistic as some people think, especially with biological warfare. But just because that's the most popular one, the one where you can find the most content, and to a lot of people, the most interesting one. However, let's be clear that regardless of whatever situation the world is in, when the world is fucked up, a lot of the same rules apply. They're going to be universal. Zombie apocalypse surviving rules and things you need to know are no different from if the economy crash, solar flares, some environmental shit, whatever. When the shit hits the fan, a lot of the procedures and skills you gotta have are crossover to any kind of post-apocalyptic situation, be it The Walking Dead or be it Book of Eli or fucking Hunger Games, whatever. When shit is bad, you need to know pretty much the same shit if you want to thrive and survive. But tonight, before we start the show, we're just going to we're going to start the show in a different way. We're going to talk about all the different types of apocalypse. All the different ones explained. Got a video that's going to explain some ones that I never mentioned, but it might give me some ideas to do shows on, because they do have some different shit going on. Like as far as like procedures that might come handy. Like I say, it's some crossover with these apocalypse situations, but it's like 80% crossover skills and 20% specific skills to that particular scenario. Like it's certain shit you would need to be good at in the Walking Dead world that you wouldn't have to be in the Book of Eli. But 80% of the shit you need in both. So 80% is enough to survive. So learn that 80%. And we're going to get into some of that 80% stuff. But let's get to the video. Let's get to, as you see in the title, it says Apocalypse Variety Pack. And I put that there because we're about to go through a variety pack of apocalyptic situations. I didn't know it was so many. You learn something every day, right? But it says every apocalypse explained in 20 minutes. I don't know how many it is exactly, but we're going to learn today. And it's good to know the different ones, because if the shit, when it hits, we don't know which way it's going to hit. But we about to learn out the many, many possibilities of how the shit can hit if the shit hit tonight. So without further ado, every apocalypse is explained in 20 minutes. And we're going to break it down and just talk about it. And then we're going to get into some other shit afterwards.
Pandemic through a mutated cordyceps fungus. The Last of Us presents a terrifyingly plausible pandemic through a mutated cordyceps fungus that jumps.
We all seen that show Last of Us. By the way, shout out to the replay gang. I forgot to get that before I get too far in the show. Shout out to the replay gang for the people that come throughout the week and check out my content. Every little viewer is appreciated. We be over here struggle streaming late at night when a lot of y'all probably be asleep for work. But sometime during the day while y'all awake, y'all come through and check me out, and I appreciate it. So shout out to y'all. If my sleeping patterns wasn't so fucked up, I would do shows in the daytime while y'all up. But again, that's why it's Insomniac Theater, because I don't be waking up. Most of the time, I wake up at about 2 p.m., 2:30, sometimes 3. And as soon as I wake up, one of the first things I do is go exercise. So I go running. And then after I come back running, I just hang out, because after I run, I don't have an appetite. Shower. And I probably eat my first meal like at 5 something. So that's usually how my days go. So that's why these shows be up at night, because, you know, that's just the life of an insomniac. I'm like half vampire. I'm like Blade or some shit. Without the cool kung fu skills and shit. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
from insects to humans, transforming people into aggressive, mindless hosts. The infection spreads through spores and bites, with the fungus gradually...
I know what I was gonna say before I started rambling. That show, The Last of Us. I heard it was really, really good. By the way, this little freeze frame look hella gross. But I heard the show was really, really good. I heard the games were amazing because it's based on the game, but I never played the game and I never played the show. I never watched the show. No particular reason I didn't watch the show. I'm just really behind on shows in general.
The Last of Us presents a terrifyingly plausible pandemic through a mutated cordyceps fungus that jumps from insects to humans, transforming people into aggressive, mindless hosts. The infection spreads through spores and bites, with the fungus gradually taking over the host's body, eventually sprouting from their head in a grotesque display of nature's dominance. What makes this scenario particularly chilling is its basis in reality. The actual cordyceps fungus does mind control insects in remarkably similar ways, making it feel like one evolutionary step away from possibility. The series excels in depicting societal collapse through quarantine zones, authoritarian military control, and isolated communities with their own survival philosophies, showing humanity at its best and worst under extreme pressures. The Matrix presents a technological apocalypse where AI has conquered humanity, using human bodies as energy sources while keeping minds trapped in a
Always said, The Matrix is one of the shittiest, suckiest post-apocalyptic worlds ever. They lived in so foul in the real world. I walked back to the machines and said, please plug me the fuck back up. No. They out there wearing dirty ass rags, right? Got them fucking plugs and shit all in the back of their head and arm and shit. And they fucking eating that nasty ass goo and shit and gotta fight them big ass machines. Of all in the apocalypse variety pack, you can keep that motherfucking Matrix fucking world. They doing bad out there.
simulated reality. This apocalypse is especially insidious because most humans don't even realize it has occurred. They live ordinary lives unaware that the real world is a scorched wasteland where machines rule and humans are grown rather than born. The spread of the apocalypse is technological, with the machine's domination complete and irreversible. Society as it was known no longer exists. The few free humans live underground, mainly out of a place called Zion, constantly fighting for survival. The story follows Neo, a hacker who discovers the truth and becomes humanity's hope for liberation. Through trials and tribulations, we see Neo grow into the One, a prophesized figure with the power to change the Matrix and end the war between humans.
The Matrix world so bad, I wouldn't even want to be Neo with all the cool powers he got, because you'll still have to live in that dirty ass world periodically, wearing those dingy ass rags, eating that nasty ass food, possibly find some big ass fucking robots. I would literally be like that one guy that portrayed the humans and sided with the robot. He was like, you know, I like the taste of a juicy steak, pretty much. They pretty much, you know, he pretty much said, plug me up, give me a good life, let me live to a ripe old age of 80 something, and I'll tell you the location of Zion. And I hate to say it, that might have been your boy. I'd be like, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all where the human location at, right? But when y'all plug me back in, make me rich, famous, the same family I got, all kinds of cars, everything, and make Beyonce, Rihanna, and Megan Good, and Megan Fox, make them all my side pieces. That's what I'll tell the Matrix before I portray y'all. Listen, the location's over here, I'm gonna tell y'all, but when y'all plug me back up, I want to be rich, famous, and have those people I listed as my side pieces. Listen, y'all tell me, if y'all was in a Matrix movie, would y'all side with the humans or the robots? Would y'all side with the humans or the robots? I'm siding with the robots all day. I'm sorry, I will betray humanity. That's how much they world suck.
And machines. The film explores themes of control, resistance, and the power of belief. Its strength lies in its groundbreaking visuals, philosophical depth, and badass fight scenes. The Matrix remains a landmark in science fiction and apocalyptic storytelling, challenging viewers to question the nature of their own reality. Fallout is set in a post-nuclear war wasteland where society has collapsed and survivors.
This show is fucking really good. Only watched a few episodes. And as we going through the apocalypse variety pack, right? We're talking about the different various apocalypse that can probably happen. This one is more realistic than you think. We already did a show about bunkers, and I have more bunker shows coming because there's so many different bunkers I can cover. So just like in this show, you know, the prominent, the rich, the wealthy, the connected, we know in real life they actually building bunkers. Some of the bunkers are in actual nuclear silos. Some of them deep underground. So this Fallout scenario is super, super close to reality. Because if it was a nuclear war, those rich people in their bunkers gonna be good. And we gonna be fucked. And if some of us live outside, we gonna be fucking mutants, just like in the show. Because the radiation, if it don't kill us off. You'd be lucky just to go ahead and get killed off. They probably become a little slimy mutant or something, right? But yeah, and they'll be living in their bunkers that really do exist in real life, and they would have to stay in there for a long time, just like the Fallout show, because they gotta wait for the radiation to clear up, if it ever clears up. So this show right here, this particular apocalypse, it's very, very possible and probable with the way we be acting out here in these streets as humans.
Struggle to rebuild. The origin, based on the popular video game title, is a worldwide nuclear war between the United States, China, and Russia, following a global conflict called the Great War, caused by resource shortages that devastated the world and destroyed modern civilization. The nuclear war that destroyed everything left behind not just physical devastation, but dangerous radiation that has mutated humans and wildlife into new forms, creating threats like super mutants and death claws that roam the wasteland. The story follows various characters as they navigate the dangers of the wasteland, encountering factions, monsters, and moral dilemmas. Society is fragmented, with pockets of civilization clinging to the remnants of the old world. Fallout is a compelling exploration.
As fucked up as this post-apocalyptic world is, I still think I would prefer it over living in the Matrix with the other humans. I would prefer Fallout world over the Matrix world. They was living foul in the Matrix, y'all. I haven't seen enough of this show. I only seen like the first episode, so maybe I'm wrong. But as of right now, I think I'm leaning towards the Matrix world.
Of the consequences of war and the resilience of the human spirit. Paradise is set in a world where society has collapsed due to environmental catastrophe and global tension. The origin is a combination of natural disasters and human mismanagement.
This is another one, right? This is another, as we go into the apocalypse variety pack. We just talked about the different kind of possibilities because we always talk about surviving them, but we gotta like sometimes discuss what do they look like. You know what I'm saying? And what possibilities of apocalypse we can have. Are they as fictional as we think? So far, a couple of them have been very, very possible. This one is very possible. Fucking with the ecosystem, fucking with the climate, fucking with nature. The planet just, I don't think planet's really designed just to be forever. I mean, if humans stay around long enough, there's gonna come a point when the sun goes out because all stars eventually die. Right? Now, I doubt humanity even lasts long enough to see that because we too fucking stupid. But if we did, some people would have to deal with that shit. If they, some people, we live that long, at some point, humans or whatever we look like by then, because it's gonna be a long, long time, are gonna have to deal with the fact that one day the sun's gonna blink out like a flashlight. And imagine what that world's gonna be, right?
Has collapsed due to environmental catastrophe and global tension.
Now this can be all the hurricanes and the tornadoes and earthquakes, how they been picking up. Environmental catastrophe. We have the big ones, and we have a ground-breaking hurricane and tornado season, and all the major fault lines get to quaking like a motherfucker, and some of the volcanoes reactivate. It's a wrap.
Origin is a combination of natural disasters and human mismanagement. A megavolcano erupts underneath Antarctica, melting the ice sheet and causing a massive tsunami that wipes out coastal cities. Simultaneously, a nuclear war breaks out, further devastating the planet and leading to the breakdown of the infrastructure and social order. The story follows a hand-selected group of survivors as they navigate the challenges of a self-sustaining eco-city built underneath the mountains. The collapse of the internal infrastructure forces people to confront their own values and priorities, with trust and determination becoming essential for survival. The title itself becomes ironic commentary on the human tendency to idolize both past and future while struggling with the complicated present, suggesting that paradise is always an aspiration rather than a reality. In A Quiet Place, the world is devastated by an invasion.
This is a pretty fucked up world too. Quiet Place. I haven't even seen the movies. I think they had a part 1 or part 2, then some kind of prequel. But I've seen the trailers and I've seen clips from it. So I'm really, really familiar with the concept. If the Quiet Place was the apocalypse we had to deal with, I'd be fucked. I got kids, they whine, they crying, they clumsy, they bump shit. They can't shut the fuck up sometimes, even if they life depended on it. Plus, I might. Can you imagine if you was in the Quiet Place world and you a nigga that like fart in they sleep?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Imagine getting everybody around you killed because you're always in a quiet place and you asleep, sleeping good. You was having a good dream, and you just bust ass, and all the aliens like, whoa, and then they come over because of the ass sound. Imagine when motherfuckers sneeze and cough. Like, I haven't watched A Quiet Place, but if somebody sneeze or cough, did that attract the aliens? Because if that's the case, this might be the most dangerous post-apocalyptic world in fucking cinema.
Of blind extraterrestrial creatures with hyper.
I think I'm gonna put this to the worst one now instead of the Matrix one, because as fucked up as the Matrix world was, at least you can fart if you want to. quiet place people can't burp, can't fart. Their bodies can't do the basic functions without getting fucking ripped apart by a goddamn alien. How you gonna have sex in a quiet place world? Clapping cheeks will literally get you killed.
Oh my God!
Soon as you start getting a good time, you hear that. An alien bust in the house, killed everybody.
No.
Just because you out there cheek clapping.
Sensitive hearing. The origin of these creatures is left mysterious, but it is implied they arrived via meteor-like objects after their own planet was destroyed, making the apocalypse accidental and alien in nature. Survivors are forced to live in near total silence, developing new ways to communicate, farm, and raise families without sound. The film excels in depicting the extreme measures necessary for adaptation, walking on sand paths, using sign language, and creating soundproof spaces for moments when noise is unavoidable. Just imagine trying to raise a baby in this environment. Civilization collapses rapidly as governments and militaries prove powerless against the aliens' armored skin and lethal speed. The immediate aftermath is chaos, with survivors scattered and isolated, relying on ingenuity and strict discipline to stay alive. Its unique premise creates constant tension, as even the smallest mistakes can be fatal. The Day After Tomorrow dramatizes rapid climate change through a series of escalated superstorms that plunge the Northern Hemisphere into an immediate ice age, with temperatures dropping so rapidly that people freeze solid in.
Now, this one right here, this ice age one, this is so different from the regular apocalypse we always talk about. It's going to get its own special show. You know, survival guide to Ice Age 2.0. AKA, what the fuck we gonna do if the world freezes over? Because we don't know. I've learned cold weather survival skills and how to treat hypothermia and things like that, and techniques to stay warm in the military. But of course, probably nothing to the lengths that we'll need if we get another ice age. So this is gonna get a little night. We're gonna first off find out exactly how an ice age can happen, the various ways. Then we're gonna watch some examples of it. And then we probably learn some of the different methods that you might need to thrive and survive in it. How to treat certain conditions if you were to get them in that kind of shit. I hate the cold. So honestly, these scenarios, these apocalypse fucking getting worse and worse. You know, I'm like, I down there rather be in a quiet place than freeze my ass off all day. I know the quiet place, real fucking, you know, it's real fickle. You can't fart. You gotta walk on eggshells. You can't sneeze. You can't cough. But goddamn, these niggas is freezing.
Dramatizes rapid climate change through a series of escalated superstorms that plunge the Northern Hemisphere into an immediate ice age, with temperatures dropping so rapidly that people freeze solid in seconds. The cause is natural, but accelerated by human activity, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ignoring environmental warnings. The spread is global, with the effects felt almost everywhere, leaving survivors to contend with freezing temperatures and dwindling resources. Society is thrown into chaos as governments struggle to respond and maintain order. The story follows a climatologist who races to save his son, sheltered in the New York City Public Library with a group of friends. friends. The impact on individuals is immediate and life-threatening, with survival being heavily dependent on quick thinking and cooperation. The film's strength is its spectacular special effects and timely message. The narrative explores the consequences of human arrogance and the need for collective action. 12 Monkeys approaches the pandemic apocalypse through a complex time travel narrative with a deadly virus killing over 5.
I think this movie was before its time, and I watched it too young. I should have been a little bit older. I need to go back and watch this movie because I did watch it a little older before, but I need to go back and watch it again because just to get this movie what it truly fucking deserves. You know what I'm saying?
Billion people and forcing survivors underground. The virus spreads rapidly through airborne transmission, making containment nearly impossible. The virus's artificial origin as a bioweapon highlights human self-importance as the true cause of our downfall. Survivors are forced underground, living in isolated communities and relying on time travel technology to try and prevent the disaster. The story follows a convict's attempts to prevent the outbreak and may actually be ensuring it happens, creating a haunting, deterministic loop. The impact on society is profound, with fear, paranoia, and desperation shaping every aspect of life. The narrative questions whether the future can be changed or if humanity is doomed to repeat its mistakes. This Is the End takes the biblical apocalypse complete.
Now, if you're a Christian, this one got a special place in your heart, or maybe a special fear in your heart. If this is the apocalypse we got to deal with, depending on how you move in the world, light work, you out of there, you good. You got raptured away. But if you ain't living right, you in a sticky situation. So if you are a Christian, you understand that this apocalyptic situation, a lot of people would think it's just as fictional as the zombie apocalypse. But we would have to believe that this is going to happen someday. It's going to happen. And some people gonna be good, some people ain't. But let's get into it. By the way, this particular movie that they're using as an example is one of my favorite movies.
Society is profound, with fear, paranoia, and desperation shaping every aspect of life. The narrative questions whether the future can be changed or if humanity is doomed to repeat its mistakes. This Is the End takes the biblical apocalypse, complete with its sinkholes to hell, demonic possessions, and the rapture, and filters it through the lens of celebrity culture and male friendship. The film uses real actors playing exaggerated versions of themselves to explore how privilege and fame provide no protection against universal destruction, with Hollywood Hills mansions offering only temporary shelter from the literal hellscape outside. Through increasingly absurd survival attempts and conflicts over limited resources, the film parodies both apocalyptic movie tropes and celebrity culture's self-absorption and disconnection from reality. What makes this apocalypse unique is its moral framework. Characters must demonstrate selflessness and personal growth to be worthy of heaven, suggesting that the apocalypse functions as a final judgment not just biblically, but narratively, revealing characters' true natures when stripped of societal pretense. Ultimately, This Is the End is a unique and entertaining take on the end of the world. Snowpiercer depicts a frozen apocalypse resulting from failed climate engineering, where scientists attempting to combat global warming inadvertently plunge Earth into a new ice.
There are a large group of people and a large group of scientists that believe this can be in our future as a species. Of course, none of us should be alive when this happened. But this is one of another ones, as several others on this list, that ain't as really, if you think this and a few of the others I talked about are just some super fictional, impossible sci-fi shit, your science teachers in middle school and high school thoroughly failed you.
Age that kills nearly all life. The only survivors circle the globe on a perpetually moving train that houses a complete ecosystem and rigidly stratified social classes, with the poor confined to the tail section in abject poverty, while the
And saying the perpetual train part is realistic. I'm saying the global warming, the coming of the new ice age. That's one of the things that's predicted by scientists. At some point, all this shit gonna fuck up. We gonna freeze over.
elite enjoy luxury in the front. The train becomes a microcosm of pre-apocalypse society, with resources concentrated among the privileged few and a brutal authoritarian system maintaining this inequality through violence and propaganda. The story follows a rebellion led by the oppressed, highlighting themes of inequality, revolution, and the struggle for justice. The impact on individuals is shaped by their position in the social hierarchy, with survival often requiring violence and sacrifice. The film's genius lies in its portrayal of how apocalyptic conditions can be experienced completely different depending on one's social position. For some, it's truly the end of the world, while for others, it's merely an inconvenience requiring adaptation. Silo takes place in a future where humanity lives in massive underground silos after the surface becomes uninhabitable. The cause of the apocalypse is a combination of environmental disasters and possibly nuclear war, though the specifics are shrouded in mystery. The spread is complete, no one can survive outside, and the remnant.
Again, fictional movie, obviously. Sci-fi'd up, but this right here is very, very probable. All it'll take is for us to eventually get the nuclear war that we've been scared of for a very long time. And like I said, the wealthy are already building bunkers all over the country and all over the planet. A lot of those bunkers are deep underground in nuclear silos. Completely funny, this show called Silo, when one of the biggest bunkers is actually built inside an old nuclear silo. So again, this scenario, this setup right here is not far-fetched at all.
The apocalypse is a combination of environmental disasters and possibly nuclear war, though the specifics are shrouded in mystery. The spread is complete, no one can survive outside, and the remnants of humanity are trapped underground. Society within the silo is tightly controlled with strict rules and a rigid hierarchy. The impact on individuals is significant, with freedom and curiosity suppressed in the name of safety. The story follows characters who begin to question the official narrative, uncovering secrets that threaten.
We about to get a little conspiracy theory right now, people. We about to really go there. Listen, we just watched about 3 of these shows that we just talked about, where they show movies and shows. About 3 of them was primarily about something happening in the world in a set part of the population having to live inside these bunkers or these facilities and things of that nature and rebuild society in a safe spot separate while the rest of humanity got taken out. I'm a firm believer that movies and shows often be the government's way of gently introducing us to certain concepts and possibilities. Keep giving us movies and shows. You got Fallout. You got all the 3 shows I just showed you. You also got Fallout included. and keep giving us and introducing us to these shows and movies where something bad happened in humanity and we got to rebuild in some kind of underground facility or bunker or something, puts the idea in our head. It's slowly desensitizing us to that possibility because they know it's a possibility. That's maybe just conspiracy brother in me, but I think I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think I'm right.
The fragile stability of their world. Themes of control, truth, and the human spirit's desire for freedom are central. Silo is a thought-provoking exploration of confinement, truth, and the lengths people will go to survive. The Crazies provides one of cinema's most grounded and realistic approaches to apocalyptic scenarios by focusing on a contained biological disaster in a small American town rather than a global.
If y'all haven't seen this movie, The Crazies, and we're not talking about all these people on YouTube, right? Because they definitely some crazies, but The Crazies. If you haven't seen it, it's worth the watch. It's a good ass fucking movie. It's wild as fuck though. And it too is not a post-apocalyptic situation I really want to fuck with. However, as far as the worst ones we went through so far, I'm going with The Quiet Place. Either one of the two where the world was in an ice age, in the Matrix world. All three of those fucking suck. I'm gonna rank them later in my head. They really hard to rank. Which one from the worst to the least worst.
Event when a military plane carrying the Trixie bioweapon crashes near a rural community's water supply, the pathogen begins turning residents into violent, deranged killers while maintaining enough cognitive function to make them unpredictably dangerous, neither zombies nor fully conscious humans. The film's terrifying realism comes from its portrayal of institutional response. The military immediately quarantines the town and prepares to eliminate all residents, infected or not, to prevent outbreak spread, reflecting actual containment protocols for biohazard events. Where many apocalyptic scenarios focus on the aftermath of societal collapse, The Crazies depict the transitional period when normal life is suspended but civilization hasn't yet fallen, creating a uniquely disturbing space where both government forces and infected citizens become threats. The psychological horror stems not just from the virus, but from watching familiar faces, neighbors, friends, family members transform into murderous strangers while retaining flashes of their former selves, unlike traditional zombies who bear no resemblance to their previous identities. The Hunger Games portrays a post-apocalyptic North America reorganized into the
Little world wouldn't bother me at all, because I grew up in Louisiana. I grew up in the motherfucking Hunger Games. My everyday, if y'all grew up real poor, not poor, po, you gotta take the O and the R off because you couldn't afford it. Po. If you grew up po, the Hunger Games worlds ain't shit. Every day was the Hunger Games.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Before we elaborate on that though,
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share.
If you want to support, hit up my Cash App at $UncBeStreaming. Any donation would be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
Shout out to all my people checking me out on Rumble. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Show some love, y'all.
We are back at it. Oh yeah, show some love though, people. Show some love, and also
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
Nation of Panem, with a wealthy capital exploiting 12 impoverished districts through resource extraction and the battle royale formatted gladiatorial games. This apocalypse is particularly insidious because it's planned rather than accidental. The system is deliberately designed to prevent uprising through a combination of brutal punishment, propaganda, and the spectacle of children fighting to the death as entertainment and a reminder of the capital's power. The dystopia functions through extreme inequality, with capital citizens enjoying technological luxuries and genetic enhancements, while district residents face starvation. Through Katniss Everdeen's journey from survivor to reluctant symbol to revolutionary, the series explores how it.
like I said, we grew all those people that grew up post Hunger Games. They're just another Wednesday, bro. Fighting with your siblings for the last piece of chicken.
Oh my God!
Stealing from the corner store because your stomach growling, your stomach touching your bizac. Collecting cans to take it to sell the aluminum just so you can get some pressed ham. Going to the corner store and asking for $1.50 worth of pressed ham, and the man slice you up about 8 slices of meat and fold it in a little white paper and hand it to you. You're like, oh, this little nigga broke.
Oh my God!
That's the Hunger Game. Shit. And you gotta dodge, all the hood shit on the street and try not to get taken out by that. So you fighting, you hungry and you fight for your life just like the Hunger Games. So yeah, Hunger Games world, a little hood nigga that grew up poor. This is where we thrive right here in the Hunger Games.
Authoritarian systems require complicity, and how resistance often begins not with ideology but with personal acts of defiance. The apocalypse in the Hunger Games is less about physical destruction and more about moral collapse. A society that sacrifices its children for stability has already destroyed itself from within. The Mad Max series takes place in a post-apocalyptic Australia after society falls apart because of resource wars, environmental disasters, and nuclear conflict. The collapse?
I ain't gonna lie. This world right here is pretty bleak. It's pretty fucking bleak. In the Mad Max world, the humans making it, and we are our biggest enemy in that world. It ain't the worst on the list. It's not worse than The Quiet Place. It's not worse than The Matrix. It's not worse than any of that shit where niggas froze the fuck up. It's not worse than, what's the last one I just said I did before this? That I said was definitely bad. I guess it's that cold shit, man. Yeah. That froze over shit had your boy so spooked.
Is a combination of environmental disasters and possibly nuclear war, though the specifics are shrouded in myth.
Anyway, ain't nobody worried about no punk ass Hunger Games. So let me go back to it.
Apocalyptic North America, reorganized into the nation of Panem, with a wealthy capital exploiting 12 impoverished districts through resource extraction and the battle royale formatted gladiatorial games. This apocalypse is particularly insidious because it's planned rather than accidental. The system is deliberately designed to prevent uprising through a combination of brutal punishment, propaganda, and the spectacle of children fighting to the death as entertainment and a reminder of the capital's power. The dystopia functions through extreme inequality, with capital citizens enjoying technological luxuries and genetic enhancements, while district residents face
Hell, America functioning right now due to extreme inequality. And you know, it's fucked up. And I don't like it. But I understand it is what it is.
starvation. Through Katniss Everdeen's journey from survivor to reluctant symbol to revolutionary, the series explores how authoritarian systems require complicity and how resistance often begins not with ideology but with personal acts of defiance. The apocalypse in the Hunger Games is less about physical destruction and more about moral collapse. A society that sacrifices its children for stability has already destroyed itself from within. The Mad Max series takes place in a post-apocalyptic Australia after society falls apart because of resource wars, environmental disasters, and nuclear conflict. The collapse begins with the global oil crisis and gets worse as people fight over the last bits of fuel and water. What makes this apocalypse particularly compelling is its gradual nature. The original film shows society still functioning but fraying at the edges, while later installments depict increasingly savage wastelands where water, fuel, and bullets become the new currencies of power. The franchise...
Yeah, man, we had some kind of nuclear war or whatever, and in the world turned to that Mad Max shit. That shit'd be hella trash, man. Like I said, that future look real bleak. It ain't nowhere I want to be. Everything deserts and that's how people be living and dirty and it's bad. Yo. It's more manageable than some of the other ones we went over. Now, if you're a badass and ruthless, you can have some power in that world, but even then, you're just them niggas that have it was like them niggas that had no running water, no cable, their teeth was getting all fucked up. Yeah, primitive as fuck, pretty much.
brilliantly visualizes the collapse of societal structures through its iconic vehicular combat and nomadic tribes, where mobility equals survival and stationary communities become targets for roaming marauders. Director George Miller uses minimal exposition to convey the world's history instead of relying on visual storytelling through rusted technology, makeshift weapons, and tribal aesthetics that suggest generations adapting to life after the collapse. Fury Road expands this universe by exploring how post-apocalyptic tyrants consolidate power through control of vital resources, in this case, water, creating feudal-like societies where desperate people willingly surrender freedom for basic necessities. The Road presents perhaps the bleakest environmental apocalypse in cinema, a world covered in ash where the sun is permanently obscure, plant life is extinct, and most animals have died, leading to widespread cannibalism among survivors. The unspecified cataclysm has rendered the planet nearly uninhabitable, with few resources and constant ashfall contaminating water and making breathing difficult. The film's power comes from its unfiltered look at moral collapse in the face of environmental devastation. When survival becomes the only priority,
that'd be a shitty world to live in, but with the right skill set, it'll be livable. More livable than some of the other ones we covered so far. But the existence would be mad shitty. But we can actually learn some things, probably gonna learn some things tonight that'll make this particular world and several of the other ones survivable. It'll be useful in any apocalypse scenario. We're going through the different ones, but then we're gonna see how it's certain skills that cover all of them, as different as they are.
Human ethics and social bonds disintegrate except in rare, precious instances. Through the father and son's journey, we see how environmental collapse forces impossible choices between compassion and survival. Melancholia presents an apocalypse caused by a rogue planet on a fast-paced collision course with Earth. The origin is natural, an unavoidable cosmic event that unfolds with a sense of inevitability. Unlike most disaster films, there is no attempt to prevent the inevitable. The planet will hit Earth, and all life will end, creating a pure apocalypse in the original Greek sense of complete revelation. The story focuses on two sisters as they cope with the impending disaster, exploring themes of depression, acceptance, and the search for meaning. The impact on society is largely unseen, with the film's focus remaining intimate and personal. The film subverts traditional apocalyptic narratives by showing how different personality types respond to certain doom. The normally functioning and happy characters collapse under the weight of meaninglessness, while the depressed protagonist Justine finds strange calm and purpose in facing the end. The film suggests that acknowledging the inevitable end, both personal and universal, may be more honest and ultimately more peaceful than the desperate struggle against it that characterizes most apocalyptic narratives. Children of Men imagines a world where humanity faces extinction due to mass infertility of unknown origin, a uniquely devastating.
My boy Jay Prince for president will lose his mind in this world. You know, he big on fertility. He loved talking about fertilities, as he say. That's one of his favorite things. And in a world where people's infertile, he'll lose his mind because, you know, he said he want to spread his seed and have as many babies as possible.
We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up.
If anybody watching later and now know who I'm talking about, you know I'm not lying. So yeah, this world is now this is his apocalyptic nightmare for him.
Faces extinction due to mass infertility of unknown origin, a uniquely devastating apocalypse. Global human infertility, with no babies born for 18 years, creates a world slowly marching towards extinction, not through violent catastrophe, but through the absence of new life. The cause is never explained, which heightens the sense of mystery and dread. The story follows a cynical bureaucrat who becomes the protector of the first pregnant woman in nearly 2 decades, offering a glimmer of hope in a dying world. The inability to reproduce has led to global despair, economic collapse, and the rise of authoritarian governments desperate to maintain control. The film brilliantly portrays how social systems collapse when there is no future generation to work toward. Schools and playgrounds stand abandoned. Religious fanaticism and the authoritarian governments use immigrants as scapegoats for society's despair. Without the promise of continuity through children, even wealthy and comfortable societies lose their cohesion and meaning, revealing how fragile social contracts may be when fronted with species morality. In the Book of Eli, the apocalypse is also the result of a nuclear war that has left the world a barren wasteland. The cause.
This is definitely in my top 3 favorite post-apocalyptic movies. That's just me an enjoyable watch. Denzel killed this shit. The world, even that world, it's not as bad because it ain't no zombies and all that stuff. Now you got to fight a bunch of fucked up humans. But in the zombie world, it's also going to be fucked up humans. So when shit go bad in any of these apocalyptic scenarios, be it fucking zombie shit, be it fucking solar flare, be it fucking a new ice age, in any scenario you want, some environmental shit, earthquakes, hurricanes, whatever, it's still going to be fucked up humans. So if you got to deal with fucked up humans anyway, I'd rather pick a place where it's only fucked up humans, not fucked up humans, and zombies. Or fucked up humans and aliens, fucked up humans and robots. But Eli just got fucked up humans. Mad Max just got fucked up humans. And of course, the environmental stuff for each world.
Is intentional, a product of human conflict and the misuse of destructive nuclear technology. The aftermath is a world where resources are scarce and survival is a daily struggle against both the environment and other people. The devastation is complete, and the survivors must adapt to the harsh new reality. Society has fragmented into isolated communities ruled by violence and fear, with no central authority or law. The story follows Eli, a lone wanderer who possesses a sacred book believed to hold the key to humanity's redemption. The film explores themes of faith, perseverance, and the power of knowledge in rebuilding civilization. Its strength lies in its blend of action, spirituality, and post-apocalyptic atmosphere. Bird Box presents an apocalypse triggered by the sudden appearance of mysterious supernatural entities whose origins remain unexplained. The cause is neither natural nor man-made, and the film leverages this ambiguity to heighten tension.
I heard that movie is really good. I never watched it. And it's on Netflix and it's free. But I just never got around to it. It's so much shit I haven't seen.
Tension and fear. The threat spreads through sight. Anyone who looks at the entities is driven to immediate insanity, often resulting in violent suicide or psychosis. The unique mode of transmission forces survivors to navigate the world blindfolded, relying on other senses and creating a constant sense of vulnerability. The film brilliantly explores how the loss of sight reshapes human interaction and survival techniques, forcing characters to develop new methods of navigation and communication. The collapse of society is swift and total, with mass panic, chaos, and the breakdown of all social structures as people desperately try to avoid seeing the entities. You even have psychos out here literally worshiping the creatures and forcing people to see against their will. The film follows a mother's struggle to protect her children, focusing on themes of trust.
In this movie, if y'all saw it, let me know in the comments, even if it's replay gang. Did the people ever see these entities? Did us as the viewers ever see these creatures? What they look like? And let me know what they look like. Or was this one of those things where keep guessing, motherfucker, because we don't even know what these creatures look like because we just wrote this script because we knew we weren't going to show the motherfuckers to y'all. So we don't even have we don't have a design for them.
Resilience, and the instinct to survive against impossible odds. The psychological horror is intensified by the fact that the entities are never shown directly, leaving their appearance and motives to the imagination. Leave the World Behind creates tensions through an unexplained...
Well, damn, they just answered my question for me. Which means it probably was a reasonable question.
The psychological horror is intensified by the fact that the entities are never shown directly, leaving their appearance and motives to the imagination. Leave the World Behind creates tensions through an unexplained societal collapse that unfolds gradually through increasingly strange occurrences. Electronics failing, ships running aground, flocks of animals behaving oddly, and mysterious sonic booms. The film's power comes from withholding clear explanations. Suggestions of cyber attack, terrorism, or even invasion are presented but never confirmed, mirroring how actual disasters would be experienced by ordinary people without access to official information. This apocalypse unfolds primarily through information breakdown rather than physical destruction, highlighting our dependence on communication systems and the societal unraveling that occurs in their absence. This sudden loss of connectivity leads to panic, hoarding, and the breakdown of social order as people struggle to understand what's happening. Through the uncomfortable forced cohabitation of two families from different racial and economic backgrounds, the film explores how the crisis reveals and exacerbates existing social tensions and prejudice, highlighting the tensions and mistrust that arise in the absence of reliable information.
Thanks to CuriosityStream for supporting this episode. Go to Curiosity.
But there you go, people. Not all of the possible apocalyptic situations, but a nice amount of them. A nice amount of the post-apocalyptic situations we just fucking witnessed. So I just wanted to show y'all that video so we can, because I talk about the zombie ones the most, but as you see, there's a lot of ways shit can get bad. And a lot of those examples wasn't far-fetched sci-fi shit. There's very probable and possible, especially the natural disaster ones, the nuclear war ones, the infrastructure crushing ones. All that stuff is possible. And now we're finna get into the concept that I said earlier that we talk about the zombie shit because it's a little more entertaining, but it don't matter because with all the different examples we just saw, the skill sets that you need are pretty universal. So we went over before, last time we did how to start a fire. Right? And so
The Last of Us presents a terrifyingly plausible pandemic through a mutated.
So we know how to start a fire, right? But you got fire, you can start a fire. So you won't freeze to death. And you can cook your food. But we haven't even gotten to how to probably, hunt and treat animals and skin animals. And some people don't even know how to process a fish, scale a fish, gut it, all that shit. But we ain't doing this in no particular order of importance, but it's just all hard skills that you need to know. So before we get into the survivor shit, we like to do a little fundamental, real skill fucking video where we just go over some shit and learn some shit together. Because in this one, we're going to do this on how to purify water. Now, we talked about it loosely on the other show, but all we really did was talk about a device called the life. What was that thing called? I don't remember. Life something. The little pen, the little straw thing you suck, life water. I don't know. I was gonna buy one, but I ain't never get around to it. But it's just the life straw. There you go, JM. The boy got a good memory. You know how the life straw. But the life straw is cool. But what happens when you don't have a life straw on you? And that's what we're finna get into today. So the first video we're gonna check out is called How to Purify Water, Top 3 Emergency Methods. Hopefully they'll show us some ways that we have to do when we don't have the life straw or lost our life straw. Just because the life straw gone don't mean a motherfucker gotta go thirsty.
Disaster, whether it's a hurricane, an earthquake, or a simple power outage, the single most important priority is securing a source of clean, safe drinking water. The tap can stop working, and municipal water supplies can become contaminated. In this situation, knowing how to purify water is not just a useful skill, it is the absolute bedrock of your survival and health. Contaminated water can carry a host of dangerous bacteria and viruses like Giardia, E. coli, and cholera, which can cause severe illness and in a crisis can be fatal. We are going to demonstrate the 3 most reliable and expert-approved methods for emergency water purification: boiling, chemical treatment, and filtration, based on the official guidelines from FEMA and the CDC. we'll show you the right way to do each and the common and sometimes dangerous mistakes to avoid.
Yeah, look like we finna learn today. And it's really good for JM because he said, I'm still not trusting that straw at all. That boy's anti-life straw. After this video over, I'm gonna show y'all a life straw again. Since cause I don't think JM giving the life straw the credit that it fucking need. I think it's an ingenious fucking invention, and I believe in it. But you know, since we do got people like JM out there in the world, that's why we're watching this video, so you can have some alternative methods. And I don't want to be just completely dependent on the life straw either. So I'm about to sit back and learn something too. Let's get to it.
This is one of the most important and empowering skills you can ever learn. The first and most reliable method, the gold standard of water purification, is boiling. Boiling kills virtually all pathogens that can make you sick: bacteria, viruses, and protozoa. It is simple, effective, and requires no special equipment other than a pot and a source of heat. To do it correctly, you must bring the water to a full rolling boil. A rolling boil is one that you cannot stir down. You must maintain this rolling boil for at least 1 full minute. If you are at an altitude above 6,500 feet, where water boils at a lower temperature, you should increase this time to 3 minutes.
So if I take some dirty lake water, right, and boil that shit up and let it do everything he just said, can I then just let it cool off and drink that shit? Is that how this shit work? But I think he's finna tell us the part that I might be missing. Because I still would think after that, you have to filter that shit.
After boiling, let the water cool down and then store it in clean, covered containers. The most common mistake people make is not boiling it for long enough or only bringing it to a...
Nah, I guess you don't. Shift you out some dirty dishwater, boil it get it to a rolling boil, and then let that shit sit for a minute or two, and you just drink that shit. Now, the problem with boiling water is that when you boil water evaporate, so it's water, but I don't know. If the water is limited, it's just kind of shitty method because you evaporate the water. But if you just get that shit out of a lake or something and there's plenty of water in the lake, you can boil that shit all day. But so for the boiling method, it's pretty straightforward. That's why I guess he said it was the easiest, the most simple or whatever.
Simmer. You need the high temperature of a full boil to ensure that all the dangerous microorganisms are killed. The second method is chemical treatment. This is a great option if you don't have the ability to boil water. The two most common chemicals used are household bleach and iodine. For bleach, you must use regular, unscented chlorine bleach that is suitable for disinfection. Check the label to make sure it contains 5 to 6% sodium hypochlorite. The procedure is simple. For 1 gallon of clear water, add 8 drops of bleach using a clean medicine dropper. If the water is cloudy or colored, double the amount to 16 drops. Stir it and let it stand for at least 30 minutes before you use it. The water should have a slight smell of chlorine. If it doesn't, repeat the dosage and let it stand for another 15 minutes.
I think boiling it beats this for sure. Just too many steps, too much waiting time. You gotta have particular things. Not only you gotta have bleach, you gotta have a specific kind of bleach and make sure certain stuff right. And when the bleach run out, you fuck. Now I would use this method as a backup, or at times where you can't start a fire because it's not safe to, because you don't want to attract attention to your location. So it's good to know all of this. Nothing on this video, I think, is going to be some shit that you should know. And that's the beauty of it. Knowledge is power. Why not have as much power as possible? So have as many options as possible to handle your shit and take care of your shit.
The most common mistake is using too much bleach or using a bleach that has scented additives, which are not safe for consumption. Iodine tablets or tinctures are another effective chemical option, and they are a standard item in many first aid and survival kits. You simply follow the manufacturer's instructions for how many tablets to add per quart or liter of water. The third method is filtration. A high-quality, modern water filter is one of the best pieces of preparedness gear you can own. These filters work by passing the water through a porous material with microscopic holes that are too small for bacteria and protozoa to pass through. It's important to know what your filter can and cannot do. Most backpacking filters are excellent at removing bacteria like E. coli and protozoa like Giardia, but they cannot remove viruses, which are much smaller. To be completely safe, it is often recommended to use a two-step process. First, filter the water to remove the larger pathogens and any sediment, and then treat it with chemicals or boil it to kill any viruses that may have passed through. The most common mistake with filters is not maintaining them properly. You must follow the instructions for cleaning and backflushing your filter to ensure it continues to work effectively. The reveal is that with these three simple methods, you have a complete system for ensuring you always have safe drinking water. Boiling is the most foolproof, chemical treatment is the most portable, and filtration is the best way to clean murky water before you treat it.
You see that JM, filtering is the best way to clean it. And that's why the life straw is the key to motherfucking success. And Life Straw need to give me a motherfucking marketing deal, because I be promoting the fuck out of they goddamn Life Straws like I got stock in the motherfucker. But I don't. But at the same time, I gotta put some respect on their name, because I think it's an ingenious invention, even though JM don't.
Meet the reimagined Life Straw. Our Peak Series personal filtration straw is the ultimate in lightweight filtration. This new straw features more premium materials, enhanced flow rate, and more versatility. Trusted by outdoor adventurers, international travel.
See that? That boy sinking straight out the creek. He just sipping straight out the goddamn creek. Where you do that? You probably like, ooh, he nasty. Oh, he gonna have worms. No, the Life Straw stops all that.
Travelers and emergency response workers, at only 2 ounces, pack and store it anywhere, and you'll have 5 years of safe water in the palm of your hand. The membrane microfilter removes bacteria and parasites. The Life Straw Peak Water Filter Straw boasts new caps to prevent leakage in your pack, and added versatility. The universal threading when you remove the bottom cap can attach to standard threaded water bottles and flasks. The built-in hose attachment also allows you to connect to standard gravity systems and hydration packs. We're also a climate-neutral certified B Corp, and for every Life Straw product purchased, a school child in need receives safe water for an entire school year. Everyone needs safe water. Stay safe, pack.
You can even buy one and get some little some of Cash Kid cousins some water for a year. That's a win-win situation. But yeah, I think it's a real. I'm gonna buy one, man. I'm gonna buy one soon. Probably buy one at the end of this month. Probably buy a 4-pack because I really do believe in it. And I'm gonna do a show, and I'm gonna come up here, and I'm gonna have some dirt in my hand, and I'm gonna take the glass, and I'm gonna put the dirt in it, and I'm gonna stir it up with a spoon and get it nice and dirty. Then I'm gonna take my life straw, and I'm gonna drink that shit right here on camera on Unbe Streaming. You heard it. I'm a man of my motherfucking word. That's how much I believe in the motherfucking life straw.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
That's fat. But okay. So we just looked at one method. Two, he gave us 3 little quick steps to purify our water. But I found another guy. His name is Simon. His channel called Simon, a bloke in the wood. In the woods, a bloke in the woods. He's using the word bloke, so I'm pretty sure be prepared for an accent. Let's check it out. You know what? He might not have. Ooh, let's find out. Oh, he might not. People call their channel anything these days.
Hi folks, and welcome back. I've been asked a few times recently about...
Never mind. He got one. I'm not anti-accent, just they be talking fast sometimes. Speaking English, so it should be good.
Water filters and how to purify drinking water. So I thought while I'm out here by the river filming another video, I'd take a few minutes out and just put together a little video on the water filters that I use and other ways that I make water safe for drinking. So there are 3 methods that I use depending on where I am and what I'm doing: boiling, use of chemicals to purify water, and use of water filters. I'm going to start.
Oh, he finna cover the same stuff this other guy covered. I guess that's all we got. Listen, it only 3 ways to purify water. The 4th is the goddamn life straw, but that's not even a 4th way because that's a filter. So it's 3 ways to purify water, people. Boiling, certain chemicals, and filterization. And I think you need to know all of them. You never know what situation you're going to be in, people. And that's just how crucial water is. We need to master all these forms of purifying water.
Start with boiling. Boiling water is a very effective way of making water safe to drink. It kills off bacteria and protozoa and makes your water safe to drink. And you don't need a lot of expensive gear. You don't need expensive filters and chemicals. You just need a few basic bits of kit. I use a primary filtration bag like this one here. And what that does is it removes any sediment in the water. So you're not drinking that. So literally you just fill this bag up with water out of the river, out of the lake, wherever it is you're collecting your drinking water from. And then you collect the water that drips off the bottom. And any sediment is left behind in that bag.
Can I do that with like a sock? Like soak the sock in the water, squeeze it out in the thing, and that'll filter it. Then go back and soak the sock in the water and squeeze it out in the thing. Because you always not have this cool bag. I said try doing it with a clean sock. Or you can just use the sock on your foot because it don't have to be particularly clean because you're still about to boil the water, I think. I'm just saying, if you don't have this little thing, a solid sock. You might have to go more back and forth than with this, or you could be right there by the river doing it. Just put the sock in there, squeeze it out, sock, squeeze. But that squeezing on the sock, that's gonna get the filter as far as the low level filtering, as where you're not getting all the dirt and stuff. Plus, if you skim off the top of the water, a less chance of just getting all the dirt and grit because it usually settles to the floor.
So that's the water collected out of the millbank bag. It's clear, but there's a slight greenish tinge to it. That's due to the algae that's in this river where I am. But
if you have the life straw, you won't have to worry about that algae.
It has taken out all of the chunks, all of the sediment. So that is now ready for boiling. It doesn't get rid of chemicals and heavy metals and things like that out of the water. So if you're really suspect, it might be worth combining this with another method, or just using a high quality filter that will remove those things out of the water. Right, that water's heating up. I just need to get up to
a high quality filter you just described. It's the motherfucking life straw, JM.
We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up.
To a good rolling boil. There are different schools of thought as to how long you should let the water boil for to make it safe to drink, and it does depend on altitude. So the higher you are, the longer it needs to boil for. But I just tend to bring it up to a good vigorous boil. So check on it when those bubbles are really going for it. Then it's done its job, and it will be safe to drink. The only disadvantage of this method is that you end up with hot water, which is fine if you're only going to make tea or coffee or something like that. That's fine. But if you're after cold water, you obviously then have to wait.
There you go, people. Loosely filter your water, boil it, not even long, to a rolling boil, and shit drinkable. But again, like a lot of this stuff build on. Remember the video before? The one before this was about how to start a fire. Or it might be the one before this. I think it might have been. Anyway, we went over how to start a fire. Because you ain't gonna be able to boil this water if you can't start a fire. So see how shit's connected? Went over a whole bunch of videos on all the different ways to start a fire. So all these skills are hard skills. You know, you got soft skills, you got hard skills. These are hard skills that you have to know in any apocalyptic situation, be it infrastructure crashing, be it nuclear war, be it World War III. Whenever the shit get bad, you're gonna have to know how to fucking make a fire, and you're gonna have to know how to filter clean water, because that's just shit for basic human survival.
For that water to cool down again, so you're going to have a delay. That is the only kind of downside really to boiling. Yeah, it's a good method, and it's a method I use if I'm out and I'm only using minimal gear and I don't want to be taking a filter with me. Next up is chemical water purification, often found in the form of chlorine tablets, and there are loads of brands about. These ones here are by Life Systems. The British Army 24-hour ration packs or operational ration packs always have a pack of 6 in there.
Yeah, shit like this cooling off. But yeah, you're only gonna have so many of these on you. So boiling method is still like the OG one. Because if you ain't got fire, you're probably gonna die anyway. You know? But if you do got fire, you can always boil your water anytime, any place.
And they are effective against bacteria and cysts, protozoa in the water. Yeah, you know, they do the job. They're a very lightweight option. You know, it's just a thin paper packet there with 6 tablets in. 1 tablet treats a litre of water, and you just pop it in there, dissolve it in the water, leave it for half an hour, and it's done its job. The downside is they taste disgusting. It's a little bit like drinking swimming pool water. Well, not quite as bad, but definitely leaves a taste that I can taste. Some people say they can't taste it, but I can. And I think that's the reason that the MOD always put an abundance of sweet fruit flavored sachets in their 24-hour ration packs to mask the flavor of these. They're also not recommended to be consumed long term. So if you're out, on an extended backcountry trip, it might be worth considering something else. Right, filters.
You heard it there. You can't even do it long term. And the apocalypse definitely going to be long term. But you got some of these tablets, they'll come to in the clutch in the emergency. But so far, boiling is looking like the best shit on the planet.
Filtration is my number one go-to method for making water safe to drink, whether I'm out camping, wild camping, backpacking, canoeing, whatever. I'll usually have a filter with me, and I've got 4 here that I'm going to show you today. This one is the Sawyer Squeeze. I think it's the mini version, and I've only ever used this once. It's all right. It filters down to 0.1 micron, which is good for bacteria and waterborne protozoa cysts, things like that, but not for viruses, not for pesticides or chemicals or anything like that. Where I live in the UK, it's a heavily densely populated island, and most of our rivers flow through towns and villages, through farmland, and I have to be a little bit more cautious than I would if I was out in the wilderness somewhere. It's got a decent flow rate. It's compact, it rolls up really small, and it has its own bag. So you can fill that up with water, and you can keep it in there and just drink from it when you need, which is good. It's kind of like a water bottle as well as a filter. And the filter is actually really small. They're also very inexpensive. So if you're looking for a cheap filter just to get you started, and you're going to be where, perhaps polluted water isn't such an issue, then this might be a really good option for you. But my advice is if you live in a heavily populated area, or there's a lot of farmland where you can...
Yeah, his shit don't sound as good as the Life Straw. He ain't even talking about it with good confidence. We saw a dude drink toilet water with the Life Straw. No. That's how much he believed in that shit. We might check him out at the end of this video.
They get run off into the rivers from, pesticides and chemicals and nasties, then it might be worth considering a different filter. Sawyer actually do another filter. I can't remember what it's called. It's got like a silicon water bottle attached to it, and that has a much better filter in it that will remove a lot more than this one will. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put the name of it up here somewhere, or there, wherever I can fit it. But yeah, so that one is the Sawyer Mini, I think it was called. Next up, I have the Katadyn Be-Free water filter bag. It's similar in many ways to the Sawyer in that it has a filter at the drinking end, but the filter is inside the bag on this one, not outside like it is on the Sawyer, and you get a silicone type water bag with it. I've got the big one. This is 3 litres. They do a 1 litre version of this as well, which is obviously a lot more compact. I used this on my recent trip to Norway and Sweden, and Andy and I both used this to filter all of our drinking water, and it worked really well. It's got a decent flow rate, although when I was really thirsty, I was struggling to get enough out, but that's just filters for you. If it's coming out really quick, I'd be a little bit concerned. Bearing in mind it's supposed to be removing all of those impurities. You can use it as a gravity filter just by hanging it up and letting it drip, although it's going to be a much slower rate. If you're actually sucking on that mouthpiece, you're going to get much more out of it because you're actively pulling.
I'm glad he didn't actually suck on it to show us how.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Even these dudes in UK understand the Paul shit better than some niggas here.
Pulling the water through. My only criticism of this filter is the cap. It has like a really cheap sports drinks bottle type cap, like the type you get on a disposable water bottle that you buy from the supermarket, and it had a little cover which came over it, and that snapped off like on day 2 on the trip. It was just made of cheese. It was not really fit for purpose. I guess I could probably just replace that with a cap off a disposable water bottle from the supermarket, and that's probably what I'll do. But I just think that it's a shame, you know, you pay a lot of money for these things. I think that could have been better designed, especially as that's kind of the clean end, you know, that's the bit that's meant to be safe to drink from. And if that's getting contaminated with dirty water, then I don't think that's such a great thing, really. But yeah, it's a good filter. I'm really happy with it. Like with the Sawyer, I probably wouldn't use this on these local rivers around here where I live, just because there's farmland around. Next up is my Liberty bottle from Lifesaver. I've got a full review of this filter. If you scroll right the way down through my videos, you'll find it down there somewhere where I go into all the full kind of specs of this, but it's a really good filter. This filters down to 0.015 micron versus the 0.1 of the Sawyer, so that just gives you an idea. This removes bacteria and protozoa like the other two do, but it also removes viruses. It's designed to be used as a filter and water bottle. If you unscrew the top there, there's a little drinking spigoty thing on the top there, but you can also screw on a water bottle and just filter straight into the water bottle, and that's what I tend to do. So I've got a full litre coming off it, and you literally just undo the end, and that's a pump. You just pump. There's a little input nozzle on here, and it comes with a scavenger hose, so you can just put that scavenger hose into the water and just pump it straight into your bottle. That's how I tend to use it. If you're out for a day walk or something and you don't want to take another water bottle with you, you can just unscrew the end and just scoop dirty water into that end, screw that back on, prime it, and then you can just drink straight from it, so the water is stored in.
JM says, man, I don't know if I'm built for this, bruh. Listen, man, a lot of people not, but that's why I'm doing this kind of content, because we can get built for this. People might think this shit weird, goofy, strange, but I don't see, if you have the spare time, I ain't saying you gotta work on this shit every day, because a lot of, even though we watching videos, a lot of this stuff we're gonna have to try and test, like the fire starting stuff and all the different methods. Some of this shit you're gonna have to get some muscle memory to. This water boiling stuff is just basic. Everybody know how to boil water. The chemical shit, I'm pretty sure the whatever pills you got gonna have directions on the box. Now, this is true. A lot of it is mental. When the shit, if the shit hit, where the shit hit, when it does hit, if your mind ain't strong, you ain't gonna make it. Be it, again, some kind of fucked up like C19 times 5 type virus, World War III, nuclear war, solar flare, some kind of major climate disasters all over the country. Just a overall whatever crashes the infrastructure in society. The weak of mind gonna be some of the first people to go. And not saying they weak per se, because they can be as normal people. But if you ain't a certain kind of off, you don't even think about the kind of shit that I talk about on these shows. So when it happens, that shit might fry your brain off rip. It's gonna be a full loss of hope and a whole bunch of despair immediately, just from the mention of it. But not you, JM, because at least you processing this shit already right now with the rest of us.
There, I really like this filter. I use it a lot on trips like this, camps like this, because I don't trust the water in this river. It has a very bad track record, one of the worst in the UK, believe it or not. And every time they do tests on it, it's really bad. So I tend to use this one or the next one, which I'm going to show you, which is my First Need XL. It's a big, clunky filter. It's great for for group use, or if there are two of you out on a trip, it will deliver water quickly. It's got a very fast flow rate, and it will remove viruses as well as your bacteria and cysts and all the rest of it out of water. It'll remove pesticides and herbicides, a lot of chemicals, very, very effective filter. It'll only filter 600 to 800 liters though on a cartridge. That is the downside, which makes it expensive.
See, that's that bullshit. One life, what's that thing called again? One life straw gives you 1,000 gallons of water. Remember that, JM? He said 800 liters. I don't know the math, but I know it ain't better than 1,000 gallons. And a life straw way smaller than that big clunky shit. Team Life Straw.
Unit itself is expensive, and then the cartridges are expensive. But I bought this a long time ago before I had my Liberty bottle, because I've always been suspect of the water around here, and I wanted something that I could trust. And this does it. I have no qualms about filtering just about any kind of water through this. I know it's going to be safe to drink. It is a good bit of kit. As a scavenger hose, which you drop into the water.
We went through 2 videos, different guys showing different steps of the various ways to purify water. And the first one was boiling, of course. Get it to a rolling boil. Let it rolling boil for a minute or two. Let it cool off and drink it. If you finna drink coffee or tea and it's cold or cocoa, you only have to let it cool off, and the water is good after that. Like I said, a rolling boil to where if you stir it, the boil don't even go away, because it's just get into that for a minute or two. You can drink the water no matter where you get it from. Now, it's good if the water kind of close to the bank of the river, got like a little soot in it and shit. You got to filter it some kind of way. And he had this little filtering bag, but I was like, you can use a t-shirt or any kind of cloth that'll catch the sediment in the dirt and let the water go through, because that's all you're trying to get out. The boiling gonna get rid of everything else. You just want to get rid of thick shit like pieces of leaves and dirt and shit that even if you boil, it'll still be there. And then the other step was, of course, the iodine tablets to put in a couple of drops of bleach in the water. Not particular bleach, the non-scented, like he said, but I think that one, it got to be done just right, or the water will have like a little chemical taste to it. Well, like he said, remember that using the iodine tablets or the bleach, that's not nothing you want to drink day after day after day after day, because it probably does work on your kidney and liver 9 times out of 10. And then, of course, the last one was the filtering processes, but you got all these devices, and he just showed several devices. Well, I'm about to present to you a device that I think, we just showed it earlier, but I ain't done promoting it. I'm promoting this shit as if I got stock in it, but I promise y'all I don't. But as I'm thinking about it, I might want to get stock in it, because there might come a time where when the shit hits, or we get word of the shit hitting, that something like a life straw might just really, really come in handy. What a guy that drunk it out the toilet. What a guy that drunk to use the life straw to drink the toilet water. He was the man. That boy wasn't scared at all. Here you go. We're gonna run him back.
know if LifeStraw works or not. Does LifeStraw actually work? I guarantee after this video, you will know if LifeStraw works or not. We use the LifeStraw Go series for all of our airplane travel, and we always carry a LifeStraw with us on our long, daunting hikes. So we have 3 different waters with varying levels of yuck. And we also have this clear LifeStraw so you can actually see it working in action. Let's go. Lake waters first. You can see it's clear right at the top. It tastes fine. It doesn't taste like anything. Like, it just tastes like water. Next up is the muddy water. It can clean the dirtiest water by removing up to 99.999999.
What he just did is what I'm gonna do live on camera when I buy this. I'm gonna pour some dirt in a glass, a clear glass, stir it up, and show y'all. I'm gonna drink it with that Lifestraw because that's how much I believe in that shit. And when I do that, JM, your punk ass better buy one. I'm gonna get you to take a picture of it and send it on IG. You know, show me a video, nigga, with that shit in your hand. When I do it, nigga, that's how much I believe in it. And it's gonna be delicious.
9% of bacteria and removing 99.999% of microplastics. Again, crystal clear at the top. I don't taste any dirt. And last of all, the toilet water. It tastes good. Does LifeStraw actually?
Do y'all think he really drank toilet water for this sample, or he just content playing us and he drank some Texas tap water?
This is a LifeStraw, and I'm going to use it to see if we can turn water from the dirtiest lake in the U.S. into clean drinking water.
But first, I'm going to test it out on a cup of toilet water I got from 7-Eleven to make sure it's working properly. Really got to give it a good...
What the hell? No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Now that's just nasty. If I was gonna test toilet water, it'd be in my own toilet at the house after I flushed it several fucking times. Ain't no way I'm gonna scoop some water out of 7-Eleven fucking toilet. I was just saying I believe in the life pen, and I do, but I don't believe.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I don't believe it into the length that this boy, if he really did this, his belief in this technology beats the hell out of mine. Cause no. A 7-Eleven toilet?
Oh my God!
This is a LifeStraw, and I'm going to use it to see if we can turn water from the dirtiest lake in the U.S. into clean drinking water.
But first, I'm going to test it out on a cup of toilet water I got from 7-Eleven to make sure it's working properly. Really got to give it a good suck. Damn, that's actually not bad. Kind of tastes like my tap water at home.
Now I'm going to see if we can filter water from Lake Onondaga, a lake that has been polluted for decades with industrial waste, untreated sewage, and toxic chemicals.
So let's hope this straw lives up to the hype.
I'm just going to give it a good hard suck here and hope this LifeStraw doesn't fail me.
It doesn't taste very good, but it could save your life. Click here to buy your own.
This is a LifeStraw, and I'm going to use it to see if we can...
He said that shit was nasty. Look at the face he made. That wasn't a fake face. He said that shit didn't taste good, but he had to add that it could save your life. Is this a fail for the LifeStraw? Or maybe they didn't promise delicious taste, but they promised some water that wouldn't get you sick?
Straw doesn't fail me. Doesn't taste very good, but it could save your life. Click here to buy your own.
That got me kind of nervous, JM. I'm not saying that that he gonna get sick from that water. And I ain't saying it gotta taste delicious for me to drink it, but that face he made was kind of wild because he was, yeah.
This is a life straw, and it's supposed to be able to make any water clean enough to drink. So today, I'm going to test it by seeing if I can tell the difference between tap water, literal swamp water, and to really put it to the test, Coca-Cola. Round 1, tap water.
Okay, I'm getting really distinct tastes of water. It just tastes like water. I'm saying this one is tap water.
Round 2, Coca-Cola.
You have to suck really hard. This one is obviously Coke. Now the last one.
Round 3, swamp water.
This one tastes like water. I need to go back and check. Maybe this one has a little bit more chemicals in it. This one tastes more fresh and good. I don't know if this is swamp water, but this one tastes like chlorine, which makes me think it's city water. So, okay, my final guesses are tap water, obviously Coke, and swamp water, which somehow tastes the best. Ew.
There you go, people. It made swamp water taste better than tap water. Jam says, what if one resistant super bacteria strand makes it through your filter? Well, if that super bacteria strand already out there, it's over for your ass anyway. If that exists, JM, it's already up in this stuff. You out of there. That's the least of your worries, buddy. So, we talked about the different variety pack of post-apocalyptic situations. We talked about a key skill set that you'll need in these kind of situations. And I'm gonna try to cover one of those on every shirt. First, we did how to start a fire. Go back and check that video out. And it's the last video. It's not in the title, but I might add it so you can know what survival skill that I'm focusing on. This one is to filter water. And we got that out the way. Now on to something where those two things might be covered in this, because this video titled 30 specific skills to survive long-term apocalyptic scenario or grid down. You're just gonna get off the grid, or the grid just went down. Bam, solar flare, no electronics work, grid down. What do?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit.
Well, we finna get 30 specific skills. And I'm gonna call these hard skills. We'll see if some are hard or some are soft. The hard skills are ones you must know, you must practice, you must almost have a muscle memory. Every skill ain't like that. But we'll see if all 30 of these are those kind of skills. But these are 30 specific skills to survive long-term apocalypse. So try to learn and as many of these as possible and master as many of these as possible. We're going to find out if they all worthwhile. Some of them might be some bullshit. We'll rank them as we go.
Hello, Serious Survivor here. And today we're going to look at 30 specific skills to help us survive an apocalyptic scenario, or at least make life a little more comfortable in some of these situations. Now, I'm not focusing on our basic skill sets here. I'm not talking about self-defense, making fire, building shelter. I'm talking about specific skills that will help and will make you more valuable to your...
But damn, this might be the advanced class, yo. We ain't even master all the basic skills. Should we watch this? We'll give a couple of it a shot just to see what they talking about.
Group, or make a member of your group more valuable to you, and also give you the ability and give you the opportunity for better barter items on down the line. So these are skills that are not an absolute necessity, but these are skills that can definitely help you out as time goes by. But first, a word from our sponsors.
You know what? Before we get to that, let me check something out. I don't want to skill stuff, right? I don't want to confuse y'all. And I don't want to confuse myself by getting too advanced by looking at a skill set that's a little too advanced, that we really gotta we gotta know the necessary shit. It's cool to have all kinds of extra little side quest skills that can get you some motherfucking wiggle room, some credentials, some authority in society because you know how to do this little cool shit. But right now we trying to live.
Hello, Serious Survivor here, and today we're going to look at 20 skills necessary for group survival during the rebuilding phase after an...
I might come back. My bad, I hit the wrong button. I might come back to that one, but let's see if we can find something a little more individually based. That was group survival, but some of those skills probably are good for a group or for an individual. But we being selfish right now, right? And we haven't found a group. The shit just hit. So we got to start off as a loner until we find our group, right? So let's start here. I think I found a good start because we on some beginner shit, right? We don't want to overcomplicate things. I think this video is going to work for all those newbies out here.
Hello, Serious Survivor here. And today I want to talk a little bit about the type of situation that we're facing and how it compares to some other situations which we may have faced. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. What if I tell you that you can get your hands on some gold from one of the, if not the most important shipwrecks in our history? The Panic of 18. The SS comes in a quality, a societal collapse type of HTF of to get yours now. When we talk about SHTF events, when we talk about a collapse of any type, a societal collapse, you know, a grid down, no matter what type of the event may be, I pretty much, as far as my viewpoint goes, I pretty much break these down into two different categories. You have your quick onset events, which are your immediate events, the ones that you cannot mistake, the ones that everyone within the vicinity of this or possibly in the world knows immediately that this event has changed their way of life forever. And that would be things such as, you know, an EMP attack, a nuclear war, an asteroid impact, a supervolcano eruption, you know, a major event that changes things dramatically the moment that it occurs. And these are easy to identify. We know when the grid goes down. We know when bombs are going off. We know when there's a world war. We know when an asteroid collides with the Earth. We know these things. And these are the type of things that a lot of prepping seems to center around, is having the ability to react when we have a quick onset type of event, that we react immediately and we immediately go into our preps and start our defensive preparations and or bug out preparations for whoever you may be. And we immediately enact our plan. The second type or category of events is basically your slow rolling events, your ones that have a very slow onset. The problem with these events is that most people don't see it coming, or by the time they see it coming, it's too late. And that's the issues that we're facing now. I mean, yes, it is very possible that we will see a war, and that war could turn nuclear, and that is a very good possibility, you know, for us in the near future. We cannot disregard that, but we are in the middle.
This boy taking a long time to get to the point.
Right now, or probably towards the tail end of an actual takeover by the powers that be. And this may sound drastic to some people who listen, for people that don't put two and two together on what we've been seeing occur over the last couple of decades, basically. Then I can understand someone who doesn't keep up with events would be like, well, what's going on? I haven't seen much change. And for those that aren't keeping up with events on a daily basis, pretty much, you're not going to see much change, because everything that's been implemented over the last couple of decades has been done step by step by step. This is a plan that has been in action since World War II. And this plan is basically a complete takeover of not just the United States, but of the world. And it has to start with the United States, because we have been.
All right, this video seemed like it was misnamed. The title says, "What we can do to prepare ourselves for what is coming." And he 3 minutes and 24 seconds in, and he haven't told us nothing we can do to prepare ourselves for what is coming. But he got some minutes left. Maybe he just warming us up. I don't fucking know.
And I guess you would say, a lot of people say, the beacon of freedom. We have been a country that has stood between, you know, socialist, communist regimes, and we've stood and we've fought against things like that. So we have to fall before the world can fall behind us. It's like dominoes, and we're the first one in line. Once we fall, then everything else is going to fall behind us. It's going to fall right into place as they have placed it out. And that's the problem with what we're facing, is the steps that have been taken have been implemented slowly but surely over the last many years. And we now are at the precipice of the onset of the end of these events. And what I mean is, we're nearing the end to where we're going to see this. I'm just going to be together and just keep saying we need to.
What the fuck? This guy fucking killing me.
Serious survivor here. And today we're going to talk about 10 things that
I don't even trust his content anymore. I don't trust it. We're saying you don't take much to lose me. When you make a mistitled video. So the other day, right, we did a whole big thing on all the different types of bunkers and shit. But it still was plenty more bunkers left. And bunkers look pretty cool. We was like, okay, bunkers, where is that? That's what works, right? We saw a $5 million bunker. We saw more affordable bunkers. We was all bunkered out. But this guy right here says, why your apocalypse bunker
72 hours with a family of 4.
Why your apocalypse bunker won't save you. See, bunkers look like a sweet spot the other day when we watched the video. Now this guy talking about why they won't save us. But this is what we do over here. We see why he said the bunkers won't save us. And if it makes sense, we take what he said and reverse engineer that shit and fix the problem so that the bunkers will work for us. Cause that's how, because a lot of people like to make stuff telling us what we can't do and won't do and how to go bad, but we can still use that as a teachable lesson to still do the shit they talking about, but just do it right.
You're underground when it happens. The world above you tears itself apart, cities go dark, sirens fade, the grid dies like a circuit with no resistance. You're sealed in, steel doors locked, concrete thick enough to stop the blast. You've got food for months, water for weeks, and a ventilation system you bought off a prepper forum. You feel safe. You're not. 3 days in, the air tastes metallic. 5 days in, you're breathing shallow, and your head pounds like someone's driving nails through your skull. By day 7, you realize the truth. Your bunker isn't a fortress. It's a tomb with a timer. Everyone dreams of the bunker, the ultimate escape pod, the fallback position when civilization collapses. But here's what the YouTube preppers don't tell you. Most people who seal themselves underground die from problems they never saw coming. Not from raiders, not from radiation, from physics, from chemistry, from the slow, silent suffocation of a system they didn't understand. This isn't about stockpiles or steel doors. This is about why your bunker won't save you and what actually kills you when you think you're safe. Let's audit the fantasy. In Timeline 12A, they thought steel walls meant safety. They confused containment with survival, sealed themselves in.
This guy sound like a bunker hater, y'all. I don't know. He don't even seem like he finna get a bunker no kind of chance. He came in hot with the buyers. Let's see though. Let's give him a chance.
Like specimens in a jar, convinced that isolation would protect them. They had doors that could stop a tank and walls that could withstand a blast. What they didn't have was a plan for what happens when you lock yourself in a box with no reliable air exchange. Humans exhale carbon dioxide, about 200 milliliters per minute per person. In a sealed space, that CO2 doesn't vanish. It accumulates. When it hits 1% concentration, you get drowsy. At 3%, your breathing accelerates and decision-making collapses. At 5%, you pass out. At 8%, you're dead within an hour. Most amateur bunkers hit dangerous levels in under 72 hours with a family of 4. Lesson: walls don't breathe. You do. Plan accordingly. In Timeline 55X, they trusted.
I think everybody would know when they design a bunker to have proper airflow. And if you think the outside air going to be contaminated, to have proper airflow with some kind of filterization system. I mean, I guess if you make your own as an amateur, you might fuck that up. But I would think if you're paying somebody to build it and they got the schematics, or you're going to one of these companies, or you stand in one of these expensive 6-figure, 7-figure fucking bunkers, that you got several ways to filter out your air. But yeah, you try to make your own shit as an amateur, you might fuck that up, but not anymore because we just talked about it.
Filters more than airflow. They bought HEPA filters and carbon scrubbers, read reviews, compared specs. They thought filtration was the same as ventilation. It's not. Filtration removes particles and toxins. Ventilation removes the CO2 you're drowning in and brings in oxygen your cells actually need. A HEPA filter won't save you from hypercapnia, CO2 poisoning. You need air exchange. Fresh oxygen in, stale CO2 out. That requires powered systems, backup generators, fuel reserves, and redundancy plans. Most bunkers have none of that. They have a fan and a prayer. Lesson: clean air isn't the same as breathable air. Chemistry doesn't negotiate. In Timeline 33D, they stored enough food to last years. They had freeze-dried meals, canned goods, rice by the pallet, calories for 500 days. What they didn't account for was moisture, mold, and microbial bloom. Underground spaces are humid. Condensation forms on walls. Water vapor accumulates. And in warm, damp, oxygen-rich environments, bacteria.
This nigga is a bunker party pooping ass pooper scoobity doop doop ass nigga. JM, the nigga is a fucking old motherfucking party pooper, man. He like fucking Pennywise the clown. You know when Pennywise come up, he usually fuck everybody's day up. We just trying to survive, but it's a little like, you know, You got to cover everything. When the shit hits, you got to cover everything. You have to think about moisture in the fucking wall. Let's get back to it, man. Knowledge is power.
Bacteria and fungi throw a party. Mold spores colonize food, fabric, even lung tissue. Black mold, Stachybotrys chartarum, produces mycotoxins that cause respiratory failure, immune suppression, and neurological damage. Sealed bunkers with poor ventilation become incubators. Your food rots. Your lungs rot with it. Lesson: you're not just storing supplies. You're managing an ecosystem. Lose control, and it manages you. In Timeline 61X, they believed generators solved the power problem. They had diesel generators, solar panels on the surface, battery banks in the basement. They thought energy was a technical problem with a technical solution. It is, until you run out of fuel, maintenance parts, or breathable air to burn in combustion engines. Generators produce carbon monoxide, odorless, invisible, lethal.
Oh, this one of those kind of videos. He a worst case scenario type nigga, where he'll say everything that can go wrong will go wrong to make his point. When a nigga operating all everything that can go wrong will go wrong kind of shit, you can never win against them in these kind of situations. But you know, any of this stuff technically could happen, but I wouldn't let this deter me from getting a bunker because he's going worst case scenario on everything.
.400 parts per million, and you're unconscious in 2 hours. 1,600 parts per million, and you're dead in 15 minutes. Running a generator in an enclosed space without perfect ventilation is suicide with a runtime estimate. Lesson: power doesn't matter if you die generating it. Physics enforces the fine print. In Timeline 78Z, they ignored what silence does to the mind. They thought isolation was peaceful, a break from noise, crowds, chaos. What they didn't understand is that the human brain needs sensory input to function. Deprive it long enough, and it starts manufacturing its own reality. Sensory deprivation triggers hallucinations, paranoia, anxiety, and dissociation. Time distortion sets in. You lose track of hours, then days. Sleep cycles collapse. Decision-making degrades. In extreme cases, prolonged isolation causes permanent cognitive damage. Soviet researchers tested this in the 1960s. Subjects isolated for 10 days showed symptoms mimicking schizophrenia. Your bunker isn't just underground. It's sensory solitary confinement. Lesson: you can survive the collapse. You might not survive the silence. In Timeline 44R, they assumed medical supplies would last. They had antibiotics, painkillers, trauma kits. They thought first aid was about bandages and pills. What they forgot is that underground environments breed infection faster than surface wounds. Humidity accelerates bacterial growth. Poor ventilation traps pathogens. Stress suppresses immune function. A minor cut becomes cellulitis. Cellulitis becomes sepsis. Sepsis becomes death. All in 72 hours without IV antibiotics and proper sterile technique. Your medicine cabinet won't save you from microbiology running wild in a damp cave. Lesson: infection doesn't care about your stockpile. Sterility does. Let's talk about what actually kills you underground. Humans need oxygen. Specifically, we need an atmospheric concentration of about 19.5% to 23.5% O2 to function normally. Below 19.5%, you enter hypoxia, oxygen deprivation. Your body compensates by increasing heart rate and respiration. Cognitive function declines. Coordination fails. At 15% oxygen, you lose consciousness. At 10%, you're dead in minutes. A sealed bunker consumes oxygen. Every breath pulls O2 from the air and replaces it with CO2. The math is brutal. An average adult consumes roughly 550 liters of oxygen per day. A bunker with 1,000 cubic feet of interior space, roughly 28,000 liters of air, starts at 21% oxygen. With 4 people sealed inside and no ventilation, you hit dangerous hypoxia levels in under 48 hours. Most amateur preppers don't calculate this. They seal the doors and assume the air will last. It won't. CO2 is heavier than air. It sinks. In poorly ventilated spaces, it pools at floor level, creating invisible dead zones. You won't smell it. You won't see it. You'll just get tired, lie down, and never wake up. This is how cave divers die, how miners suffocate, how people in sealed bunkers become statistics. CO2 poisoning is insidious. It mimics exhaustion. You think you're just tired. You think you need rest. You close your eyes. That's the mistake. Commercial bunkers use air scrubbers, devices that chemically bind CO2 and remove it from circulation. The most common systems use lithium hydroxide or soda lime. They work until they saturate. Once the chemical substrate is exhausted, the scrubber stops working. No warning light, no alarm, just rising CO2 and declining consciousness. You need backup systems. You need replacement cartridges. You need to understand the chemistry. Most people have none of this. Underground spaces are humid. Groundwater seeps through concrete. Condensation forms on metal surfaces. Every breath you exhale adds water vapor to the air. In a sealed environment, relative humidity climbs fast. Above 60% humidity.
We just dug us a hole, JM. We just dug a hole, and we done got in that motherfucker to die in horrible ways. That's what he teaching us about bunkers. We done dug a hole, and it's 100 horrible ways to die inside that motherfucker.
Mold growth accelerates. Above 80%, you're living in a petri dish. Mold spores colonize surfaces, fabrics, and respiratory tracts. Aspergillus, Penicillium, Stachybotrys. These aren't just annoyances, they're pathogens. Inhaled spores trigger allergic reactions, asthma attacks, and invasive fungal infections in immunocompromised individuals. Mold also destroys your supplies. It consumes organic material, cardboard, cloth, leather, paper. Your emergency documents rot. Your clothing disintegrates. Your food becomes toxic. And the worst part? Once mold colonizes a space, it's nearly impossible to eliminate without industrial decontamination. You need dehumidifiers. You need airflow. You need to keep interior humidity below 50%. Most bunkers do none of this. Isolation is torture. This isn't metaphor, it's neuroscience. The human brain evolved for social interaction and environmental variability. Lock it in a static, silent environment, and it rebels. Studies on solitary confinement show measurable brain damage after 15 days. The hippocampus shrinks. The prefrontal cortex atrophies.
This dude a buzz killer, yo. He all doom and gloom. But I understand the science and stuff to everything he's saying. And if you want a secure bunker, that's just shit you just might have to accept and or deal with. It might be the price you have to pay. But I think depending on the situation, no matter what, a bunker might be a good solution. And I would like to think the people that create these top dollar amazing bunkers took a lot of the things that he discussed into consideration, if that makes sense. A lot of stuff he talked about, I would think that when these people building these bunkers, now it'd be like a lot of these other people, you build your own, you might miss some of the
5.
Some of the steps. Let's check out some more fancy shit, man. We was in broke land. Let's check out the 5 most luxurious doomsday bunkers. Now, all we can do is daydream about these when the shit hits. But sometimes it's cool to window shop. You got a window shop. Baby, I'm a window shopper.
Emotional damage.
Most luxurious doomsday bunkers ever built. Boom. Gone are the days of cheap fallout shelters dug by hand in the backyard of the family home. Instead, we are living in a time of luxury underground, and yes, even above ground, doomsday bunkers. Yep, apocalypse shelters are a booming business. After all, wealthy doomsday preppers need somewhere to go when the economy collapses and the air starts turning us into flesh-eating zombies that don't know the lyrics to Big Pimpin'. Packed with everything from swimming pools to golf courses and movie theaters, let's take a look at the 5 most luxurious doomsday bunkers ever built. Welcome to another episode of RichTube. And if you're up for a safe blast, then be sure to stick around for number 1 to catch the Disneyland of bomb shelters. Let's take a look at some of these outlandish billionaire bunkers then, shall we? Number 5. The Oppidum. In a quiet valley surrounded by mountains in the Czech Republic lies what claims to be the largest billionaire bunker in the world, the Oppidum. Construction on this fancy doomsday shelter began in 1984 after the Cold War, and today it's ready to provide up to 10 years of luxurious protection against natural disasters, weapons of mass destruction, and power outages. Sprawling over 323,000 square feet, the complex consists of an above-ground residential estate.
I think what percent of the population you think gonna be able to afford this shit? Like I said, that's why I said movies like Fallout, in the one where they was on a train, in the other movie where the black guy was in, I can't remember the name of it, but any of those movies and shows where some shit hit the fan, the world collapsed in some kind of way, and you got this society living inside these special places, it ain't gonna be us coming for it, po folks, us PO folks, not in the POOR. The POOR ain't gonna make it, so the PO, the PO not gonna make it. And the crazy part is that this is reality. It's fiction in the movies. Oh yeah, some shit hit, nuclear war or the society collapse, and these elitists are in some kind of bunkers living this own little situation that's supposed to be self-sufficient. That's so far-fetched. And it's not, because they already building the goddamn facilities as we speak.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
I'm telling you, they show you this shit in movies and stuff, so when it happens, it can't blow your fucking mind.
With a golf course, helipad, and automatic defense technology. But the downstairs rooms are swanky enough that you may never want to leave the cavernous underground shelter. The bunker's official website, which can only be accessed using a special passcode, claims that any potential conflict in the world is...
Our broke regular asses can't even get on their website.
Emotional damage.
Our broke regular asses can't even get permission to window shop the shit. Let's say I won a lottery and I had the money. I would have to get in contact with somebody, verify that I'm worth surviving in some kind of way, because my money might not even be enough to get the code to check out their website. I don't think they just selling spaces off money alone. I don't think they would sell one to Soulja Boy. They'll be like, we don't want Soulja Boy living in our community.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Swanky enough that you may never want to leave the cavernous underground shelter. The bunker's official website, which can only be accessed using a special passcode, claims that any potential conflict in the world is likely to avoid the Czech Republic or reach it at a later stage. which would enable the owners of the Oppidum to arrive at the compound and make preparations. Thought that looks luxurious? Then the Disneyland of Doomsday Bunkers at number 1 is going to blow your mind. Number 4. The Aristocrat. You may want to hide yourself in the event of a war or natural disaster. But why hide the fact that you're noble as hell? Starting at just $8.3 million, you can get your own personalized luxury bomb shelter known as the Aristocrat. Super spacious underground, the Aristocrat is enough to fit all 4 of your supercars and a Rocket Z Apocalypse SUV. It even features a gun range, bowling alley,
at just $8.3 million.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
What the hell?
The PO, when the shit hit, the PO, the PO, just gotta motherfucking go. I guess that's just what society telling us. The PO gotta go. Cause Lord, we out there in cardboard boxes. They down here in these fucking bowling and swimming and shit.
swimming pool, sauna, hot tub, a media room, and even a greenhouse, giving you self-sustainability along with the lavish aesthetics and comforts of luxury living. You definitely won't feel cramped or restricted in this underground mansion. But in case you do need some sun, there's always an extra safe house above ground. Your bunker can run both on and off the grid. But keep in mind, if the grid flatlines, your massive flat screen TV probably won't run on solar. Number 3, the safe house. Why go to a bunker when you can bring the bunker into your home, or transform your home into the bunker? Well, that's what the safe house is. It's a transformer. Its reinforced walls literally slide around and convert into everything from super protective rooms to massive film projector screens. Even the pool pavilion terrace is protected with a drawbridge. And best of all, the entire house is...
Yo, these white folks is keeping stuff on us. First, a life straw, a device that this goddamn big can filter 1,000 gallons of water. And then one that's big as a 5-gallon jug. Remember that other one that can filter 26,000 gallons of water. And now these motherfuckers got transforming houses.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
The elite probably knew about these shits for years, but our PO asses just finding about them today. Now, I understand we don't know about them because we can't afford them, but they weren't going to tell us anyway, and that's my story, and I'm fucking sticking to it. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Exactly, JM. They gatekeeping apocalypse necessities, nigga. Like, it sound funny, it sound weird, but it ain't a joke. This is something that's really going on. We got black people that can afford some of this shit that ain't got it, don't know how to get it, don't know that it fucking exists.
Is above ground and surrounded by lush green gardens, meaning you can live as an undercover doomsday prepper just like even the pool slide around bunker. Safe house. Why go to a bunker when you can bring the bunker into your home or transform your home into the bunker? Well, that's what the safe house is. It's a transformer. Its reinforced walls literally slide around and convert into everything from super protective rooms to massive film projector screens. Even the pool pavilion terrace is protected with a drawbridge. And best of all, the entire house is above ground and surrounded by lush green gardens, meaning you can live as an undercover doomsday prepper just like the Autobots did here on Earth, until the time comes to transform. Before we move on to our next luxury safe house, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can subscribe and turn on notifications in less than 5 seconds, you'll be rewarded with 10 years of good luck. And who knows, you may never need to move into any bunker at all. Number 2, Vivos Europa 1. Carved out of solid bedrock under a legit mountain, the Vivos Europa 1 shelter in Rothenstein, Germany, claims to be the ultimate life assurance solution for high net worth families. Available by
for high net worth families, because their lives are way more important than our poor asses. They ain't got no Section 8 for this shit.
Oh my God! Wow!
No income-based residence or some shit.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Something that can help a poor nigga out. A poor nigga. They don't. Because just, this, look, see the bigger picture of what we're watching right now. The 1%, the affluent, the movers and the shakers, already just telling us to our face that our lives don't count and their lives more important than ours. And the preparations to survive if something happened is so out of our pay range, they pretty much already wrote us the fuck off. And we just gotta take that shit. We gotta eat that shit. We witnessing that shit right now.
Number 2, Vivos Europa 1. Carved out of solid bedrock under a legit mountain, the Vivos Europa 1 shelter in Rothenstein, Germany, claims to be the ultimate life assurance solution for high net worth families. Available by invitation only, a spot in this luxury bunker will set future residents back.
JM says they've been telling us that, and that's very fucking true. But right now, we seeing that shit in effect. We seeing what it looks like, which in my opinion makes it even fucking worse and just more fucking real and more diabolical, as we like to say over here on YouTube. That shit's diabolical. We love that word out here.
Say hello to my little friend.
About $5 million per head. Naturally, that kind of cash will buy you personalized chambers and nothing but 5-star amenities and top-of-the-line concierge services.
We heard that right. Not $5 million to get your family in there. $5 million per head. I have a family of I got 4 kids, but I got a family of 5. So that's $25 million just to get all us in there. If we can even get in there, because look at us. And then my son, he's part of the 6, got a family of 6. So it's me, my wife, and 4 kids. So it's 6 of us. But my son, he's 25, he done got married, so he'll want to bring his wife. So that's $30 million. And then she want to bring her family, they just shit out of luck. Sorry. I'm sorry. Pretty much, JM. JM said, so if we not crazy rich, we're screwed. Well, we looked at some more affordable bunkers and affordable solutions. And we're going to go back to that after this, just to give us PO people, not POOR, but PO because we can't afford the OR, to give us some hope. So we're going to, this is the letdown, and then we're going to pick ourselves back up in the next video, hopefully. But this right here ain't looking sweet for us poor people.
Claims to be the ultimate life assurance solution for high net worth families. Available by invitation only. A spot in this luxury bunker will set future residents back about 5.
Invitation only. Invitation only. That means some big wigs in charge gotta value your life and think you worth contributing to society and worth living, and then you'll get an invitation. But even with hoping for an invitation, you still gotta pay that $5 million per head, if I'm not mistaken.
$5 million per head.
He said it, $5 million per head.
Naturally, that kind of cash will buy you personalized chambers and nothing but 5-star amenities and top-of-the-line concierge services from the moment the apocalypse begins. Vivos helicopters will even meet you at the airport to shuttle you to their complex, which was built to withstand close-range nuclear blasts, direct airline crashes, biological and chemical agents, massive shockwaves, flooding, armed attacks, and even earthquakes. Who wouldn't want to hide out a zombie apocalypse by the pool? Number 1, Trident Lakes. And finally, atop our list is the Disneyland for nuclear disasters, known as Trident Lakes. The bunker prides itself on being more than just a luxury shelter, but a 5-star resort equipped for security, survivability, and sustainability. The 670-acre compound features a driving range, a polo field, a lagoon, a gun range, and an adventure course, allowing you to have a safe blast on the inside while avoiding nuclear warfare from the outside. Fun and games aside, these guys have thought of everything. There's even a DNA vault that may or may not be used for repopulating the Earth in case of a mega disaster. For anyone ready to dish out anything between $449,000
and they gonna repopulate the Earth with their rich nigga DNA, and all those poor niggas gonna be gone.
Oh my God! Wow!
and $1,949,000 for one of the personalized $1,000. For anyone ready to dish out anything between $449,000 and $1,900,000.
So $449,000 is the lowest price one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Anything between $449,000 and $1,949,000 for one of the personalized underground living spaces with above-ground terraces. There's room for about 3,000 people, but Mickey Mouse won't be one of them. And that's it for our top 5 billionaire.
I got 4 words for you people. If you want to survive the apocalypse and any kind of apocalyptic situation, get your money up. Get your fucking money up, y'all. Because they don't give 2 shits about the PO, the PO. He said he got 1 word, the lotto. But this shit invite only. Like, I don't think LeBron James, Beyonce, and other little bullshit rich people, Oprah, they might can buy a place or find a place, but they not getting. I don't even think the elites that really run this shit is gonna send the little entertainment people. No invite only. I don't think they're gonna get it, bro. I really don't. So unless we want to be sleeping outside in the caves, right? Breathing contaminated air, fighting off mutated wildlife, and maybe cannibals, we're going to have to find something just a little more in our price range.
Welcome to our channel.
And hopefully, here go JM trying to use what he got to get what he want. That boy said, be willing to do something strange with Oprah to finesse your way into her luxury bunker. He said, you got to take Oprah to motherfucking.
I'm trying to take it a pound, 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 town. I'm trying to lay that pussy down on the ground.
Pound Town Oprah, yo. You know, for survival in certain luxuries, that wouldn't be too hard of a feat for a bandit to do. And I am a bandit.
Where we take an inside look at some of the most. Welcome to our channel, where we take an inside look.
Before I got on YouTube, funny story. We were homos, we used to talk, we used to refer to ourselves as Vikings at one point. I don't think we was pirates. Because you know, pirates they're some wild ass niggas. They live how they want, they do what they want, they take what they want. And you know, we used to be, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, I'm a pirate. Give me that booty. It was a song came out, and I think it was like this little group, and they used to do parody songs. But one of their lyrics was like, bitch, I'm a pirate now, give me that booty, or something like that. Or something that day, girl, I'm a pirate, give me that booty. And we thought it was fun. So like, nigga, I'm a pirate, nigga, about to, you know? And then we started calling ourselves Vikings. And now I'm running with some niggas, met some niggas. Now we bandits. But it's all the same shit. Because a pirate ain't nothing but a bandit with a motherfucking boat. A pirate just a bandit in the water, a bandit with a boat. A Viking just a bandit with a boat that would raid the land and do some bandit shit, but they came on a goddamn boat. Of course, there's some big Viking motherfuckers too, but you get what I'm saying. Vikings, pirates, bandits, highway bandits. When I think of bandits, I think about highway bandits, to be honest. But a bandit, all them niggas is bandits, really. Vikings are bandits and pirates are bandits when you think about it. I think Vikings and pirates fall under the umbrella of bandit. You know? Because you got bandits that used to be the highway bandits. I think the niggas that used to rob the trains in the Western days, they was definitely fucking bandits. And Vikings and pirates are fucking bandits.
And some of the most incredible survival bunkers and emergency shelters you can own today. Ever thought about how you'd survive a zombie apocalypse, natural disaster, or, let's face it, the next global crisis? Well, worry no more. We've dug deep, literally, to bring you 5 of the ultimate emergency shelters you can own today. From luxury bunkers with all the comforts of home, to eco-friendly havens that let you ride out the storm with minimal impact. We're covering the best of the best. These bunkers are not just for the doomsday preppers, but also...
I think this video finna mislead us. It says 5 incredible bunkers you can buy now. But just because we can get them now don't mean they're affordable. And looking at these pictures, these not affordable. So I need to go back to my search engine and see if I can find something affordable, because I don't feel like getting beat down again and getting my dreams crushed because I'm P.O. Can't afford the OR. There's not a lot of affordable bunkers out here, yo. We watched this one video before that had some affordable bunkers, and I ain't finna watch the same video again. And other than that, we got this one. He says affordable, but that shit don't look like nothing I want to live in. But you know, fuck what you want to live in. At that point, you like, what can you live in? So let's go look to the poll. Y'all saw the shit the other people can afford, right? Now we finna see what we can afford. It ain't looking good. It ain't pretty, trust me.
It's going to be an 8-foot diameter by 20-foot long, just a cast shelter, just for storing food and supplies. It'll have a floor. It'll have the fittings for the pipes. Have a ladder that goes straight in, and of course it will have the hatch on there. That's the AR-500 hatch, but this is just this cast that is going to put it under a barn. If you're curious, this right here costs $15,000, which is really a good deal because that's still one of our bulletproof hatches on there. So he's going to have a total 4-foot wide floors in here. And you know what? The ceilings are 7'6" tall. Plenty of ceiling height in this 8-foot bunker. There's no storage under the floor, but nice ladder. Now it's not going to be buried very deep, but he does have the hatch with the AR-500 lid and 3 hydraulics on it. So it's got a good Atlas hatch on it. And the ladder runs are a non-skid tread. It's actually pretty big in here, you know, for an 8-foot bunker. And looking at the hatch from the outside. So
they got bowling alleys and swimming pools and movie theaters in they bunkers. And the shit we can afford is 8 feet. You got JM up in here with big dreams. JM talking about, I'm not about the affordable bunker life. Oprah is his plan A.
No.
Well, nigga, you might have to fight Stedman to the death over that slot. So you might could take him because he old, but you know, it's relying on if you can get close to Oprah and if Oprah gonna want you. So I ain't trying to, you know, discredit your player there, but you know, you got to get Oprah to want you first. So you might want to have a plan B and a C. And if you PO like me, if you PO like me, this is your plan B right here.
he's only going to bury this. He's going to put it in the concrete under a new building. So it's only going to have a foot of concrete on top of it. But that's all he wanted because it's going into solid rock. And he basically just said he couldn't dig down any deeper because it was too hard. So that's 3/8 steel right there, supported by some channels. It's got a hatch with the AR-500. It's a 3x3 hatch. And he's not gonna, this is just for putting stuff. He's not gonna sleep in here. We're gonna put the fittings in case he wants to add an air system later, but realistically it's just for storage. But you know what, back in the old days, this would have been a hell of a nice bunker. So we got the end cap on. They put on 2 structural channels. Let's see if they got it level. Looks good there. Looks good there. All right, so got the lifting eyes cut into the plate. We use a 3/8 plate, not 1/4 inch. All right, all we got to do now is blast the ends, get some coating, some tar coating on that metal so that won't rust, and get it delivered to you. And it's about ready to go. 8x20 cast shelter. It's got the inside painted gray, the hatch is gray. We got the tar on the outside, and then both ends. We got fittings, 4-inch fittings, 2-inch fitting in case you want to add air pipes. And it's ready to go. So come on by in the morning, we'll load it up, deliver it for you. All right, so this is an 8x20 cast shelter that's gonna just go be buried. And for a measly $15,000, it's a great deal. I told him not to stop in a soft spot. He can make a hard right turn.
$15,000 though. All we get is this big tank, this big fucking can, this big tin can. Like, what about all the other stuff? I mean, how much that's gonna cost? This shit don't look livable. Like, what's going on here? What's going on, Bridget? We out here just trying to learn how to survive, you know. And these bunkers ain't looking good. See, me and JM done came to a conclusion that post-apocalyptic world, anything happen to the infrastructure, anything crumbling in society, us regular normal people, us poor people, PO, we ain't gonna make it. It ain't nothing in place for us to thrive. We just gotta put our head between our legs and kiss our ass goodbye and hope the radiation don't fuck us too much. And just deal with the radiation, the mutant and the cannibals and the mutated animals and in the filthy water, while the rich and the famous got underground bunkers with swimming pools and bowling alleys and cafeterias and gyms and fucking gardens and all kinds of other shit. Aquaponics, whatever the fuck. Man. But so we trying to find affordable bunkers. And we found this one for $15,000, but this shit look hot garbage so far. Fast forward through this video and the rest of it, just still niggas trying to get this off the truck. That lets me know that we fuck poor people. We fuck poor people. Let me see.
Full disclosure.
Now you might be okay if you handy, but no, this video ain't no different. It's another person buying a tin can. They dropping it in their backyard, but it's just part one. Oh yeah, I have to watch all the parts of this. But what can you, I gotta see, like, I ain't saying our shit gotta be perfect, right? I know our shit can't be like the rich folks. Okay?
All right, good.
But come on, man. They got $13 million doomsday. Uh-oh, I found one. It says man builds bunkers underground for $5,000. That's right up our poor ass alley right there. Now our poor ass can afford this. That's a fat JM, and I don't think this guy $5,000 bunker is going to take moisture into consideration. Just gotta believe, but it's taking a whole lot of hard work and elbow grease. So that alone gonna discourage a bunch of us po niggas. Want to survive and you ain't got no money to get some old built fancy shit, you might have to do a lot of dirt digging and working. I got the feeling it's a shit hit. That boy gonna go inside this shit and be deleted in 3 or 4 days from lack of air or something.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
He don't look like no engineer per se. I don't think he factoring in all the other stuff we just watched and all the weird mold, science, carbon monoxide shit. He is, and I'm just wrong. And I'm, let's see. These cheap ass Home Depot parts killing me. Bridget said, what about those little Tesla homes? How much they cost? They might be little, but how much they cost? Because, we poor around here. P.O. We done saw some bunkers that was amazing. But it's way out our price range. I just looked up those little Tesla homes, and they look cool, but I don't think they built for underground in the bunker in the kind of survival shit we talking about. It can be some real nice a tiny home, some nice cool shit to have if you got bread, but I bet they hella expensive. But before we get out of here, after we finish this video, I'm gonna look into that for shits and giggles because it is Insomniac Theater and we up. Why the fuck not, right? And like a nigga finna go to sleep anyway. I want to see this guy build. This, he working, man. He working hard. So I'm gonna put some respect on his work. But at the same time, I want to like move on up a little bit. We ain't got no final product, but let's look at some steps though, maybe. Let's get a little further in the process. That nigga Lil Bunker fucking with my claustrophobia. It ain't fancy, but he said he got it for $5,000 to build. I'm pretty sure. Are we gonna assume that can include all parts and stuff? But because they got plenty of tiny homes that are definitely affordable, but that I don't think they fulfill the bunker requirements, which is the key component to what we're doing right now. But for shits and giggles, let's check out these little Tesla homes because I don't know much about them. And hell, why not learn something? Listen, Tesla, don't be fucking with my video. Tesla.
If you're thinking about buying,
I'm about to subscribe. This is called Tesla Insider News. Don't be baller blocking me. I'm just out here trying to, maybe somebody watching my show might buy your shit at some point. You never fucking know. This is a free commercial. Okay? So keep my shit up.
if you're thinking about buying a Tesla tiny house for your retirement, here's the question nobody's asking. What happens in year
Y'all ain't gonna need how to know construction, but you're gonna have to know how to clap them cheeks though. That's where being and that's when being cooperative. This is where being fit, friendly, and cooperative are really gonna come through. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no man. The fuck you don't. Cause if the society fall, this ain't nobody hoping for. This is fucked up. Let me be clear. But when the society fall, the laws and the rules and the system, think about all those post-apocalyptic movies. It was survival of the fittest. If I was strong enough to take your food, take your water, take your gun, and also take your woman, it ain't nobody that can do shit about it. And then once you take the woman, she gonna do what it do or else type shit. And that's fucked up and unfortunate. But that's a lawless land. So yeah. They're gonna have to finesse their way. I tell you, the go-to method is to try to connect yourself to the most powerful, respected, and feared man you can. And be his main woman. And I say be his main woman because you don't want to be one of his concubines because he might share them with his lieutenants. He'll still cut the concubine, but he'll pass them down to his lieutenants and captains. And if you ain't nothing he don't want, he'll let the soldiers have all them and have their way with them. But if you his main king, he ain't gonna want nobody else to touch you. But if you ever cross a line, understand you can get demoted and he'll get another main team and he'll throw your ass right down there with the soldiers and shit'll get rough for you again. So again, it's all barbaric and fucked up. But what I wish a lot of ladies to understand is that all this tough stuff they talk and all this stuff all comes from a system in place, a system that was created by men, even though they hate the patriarchy. So if the power grid go off, World War III, major natural disaster, yada, yada, all that, it ain't going to be no police force, fire department, all that shit to call. It's just not. They be like, well, I got my gun. Well, he has a gun too. You can't shoot everybody. It's not enough bullets. And when it comes down to fuck a gun, let's see what your muscles can do. That's when you're going to get strong arm in most cases. Even Ronda Rousey, she a trained fighter. But I bet I can beat her ass unless she catch me in like an arm bar or something. But that wouldn't even work on me because I'm levels 3 combative certified, and that's the military version of the MMA. So if she want to roll, I can roll. But I know I'm definitely stronger than her.
5. Year 10. Everyone talks about the upfront price, maybe $5,983, maybe $25,000, depending on what you read. If you're thinking about buying a Tesla tiny house for your retirement, here's the question nobody's asking. What happens in year 5, year 10? Everyone talks about the upfront price, maybe $5,983, maybe $25,000, depending on what you read. But here's what I've learned after analyzing hundreds of comments from retirees just like you. The real cost isn't what you pay today. It's what you'll keep paying month after month, year after year, and whether you'll truly own anything at all. See, you can buy the house, but if you don't own the land underneath it, you're not buying freedom. You're buying a lease agreement that someone else controls. Today, we're showing you the complete financial picture over 10 years, the costs they don't mention, the hidden fees that show up later, and the one question that determines whether this is your retirement solution or your biggest financial mistake. This isn't clickbait. This is the honest breakdown you deserve. Let's start with what you're actually buying. Part 1. The 3 layers you're actually paying for. When you see those beautiful renders of Tesla tiny houses, understand this: you're not buying one thing. You're buying into a 3-layer system, and each layer has its own cost structure and risks. Layer 1 is the physical house. 250 square feet of steel frame, composite walls, solar panels, and battery. Estimated cost based on similar prefab systems and leaked documents, $5,983 for the basic shell to $22,900 for the full off-grid package with Powerwall 3. Important disclaimer: Tesla hasn't released official pricing yet, so treat these as educated projections based on comparable systems currently on the market, not guarantees. Layer 2 is the land. The house sits on land you either own or lease. According to leaked information, Tesla may offer a land lease program, possibly 24 months free, then estimated $299 to $499 monthly, depending on location. Do the math. $400 per month over 10 years equals $48,000. That's double the house cost, and lease agreements can change over time. Layer 3 is the life support system: energy, water, internet, insurance, maintenance, permits, zoning. Unlike the house purchase, these costs never stop.
Thank you, saving some money with the tiny home. As you see, this shit's starting to stack up on our ass.
Oh,
Retirees on fixed incomes, this is where the financial picture either makes sense or falls apart. Remember, house cost isn't the killer, land control is. Part 2, your real 10-year cost in 3 different scenarios. Let's look at exactly what you'll pay over 10 years in 3 different situations. Scenario A, you own your land. You already own land in Texas, Florida, or Arizona with favorable zoning. Year 1 costs: Tesla tiny house full package, approximately $22,900. Site preparation, $2,000 to $5,000. Permits, $500 to $2,000. Initial hookups, $1,000 to $3,000. Total upfront, $26,400 to $32,900. Ongoing annual costs: property tax, $800.
I just want to make it clear we watching this only for shits and giggles, because these little bullshit ass matchbox looking ass houses ain't shit I want to be in any kind of post-apocalyptic situation. Let's make that clear. Unless that motherfucker got some Tesla laser cannons in a fort.
$100 to $2,500, insurance $600 to $1,200, maintenance $500 to $1,000, internet $1,200, annual total $3,100 to $5,900. Over 10 years, total cost $57,400 to $91,900. This is the best case scenario. You have control. No landlord, no lease increases, but you need land first, and even rural land costs $20,000 to $100,000 if you're buying specifically for this project. Scenario B, you lease Tesla's land. Most retirees will do this because they don't own land. Year 1, Tesla tiny house, $22,900, land lease potentially zero for 24 months, insurance $800, internet $1,200. Total year 1, $24,900. Years 3 through 10 annual costs: land lease estimated $4,800, insurance $800, maintenance $1,000, internet $1,200, miscellaneous repairs $500. Annual total $8,300. Over 10 years, total $91,300. But here's the hidden danger that nobody talks about in the promotional videos.
Property tax, property tax, property tax. The scam that keeps on scamming. And that's a fucking fact. That's a fucking fact. Cause you can fucking pay get a 3 acres of land in Texas. You paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and you paying on that shit every month for a whole year, but they still want to make you pay property tax for some shit you already paying on. Like when you paying your car note, you don't pay like a property tax on that shit because that's just ridiculous. It's insane. And then you finally paid off the land. You don't pay it off the $130,000 land, but they still hit your ass up for property tax every month. That's fucking nuts. Like, how is that really ownership? If it's my fucking land, who the fuck I'm paying the taxes to? But I don't have those problems because I'm 100% retired veteran and I don't have to pay property tax. That don't mean I can't empathize and sympathize with the people that have to, because I understand it's fucked up ass rigged system. Like, you know what? I gotta sit down and do a news break. I'm on one tonight for a little bit before I get out of here.
Tactical nuke incoming!
The way the world set up, people. The way this crazy world we live in is set up is wild as fuck. You understand? It's designed to put more burden and more demands on the people with the least amount of money. The rich people get all the tax breaks. They get all the handouts. They get all the freebies. Look how credit card work. Credit cards work like they want you to have a lot of money available on the credit card, but not use it. But if I'm poor, why would I have a lot of money on a credit card and not use it? The only people that can have a lot of money available on a credit card but not use that much of it is a fucking rich person. No. Now, regular people can get as long as you don't mess your credit up and make some good decisions, you can have a good credit score. I had a 730 at one point, and I got a 700 and something now. However, the way the system's set up, it just really way better for people with money already to not only have a high credit score, never lose it, and constantly maintain that shit. It's also kind of like how if I go to the club in Vegas, I gotta pay $5,000 for some big section. Chris Brown can come and they'll give him the section for free and a whole bunch of bottles to come with it. And I'm like, he the nigga worth $200 million. I'm poor. Why is you giving the rich nigga the free shit?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
The nigga that can afford it don't have to pay. They get given clothes. Not only clothes, expensive designer clothes. They get to eat in restaurants and shit for free just for them to say such and such ate here. I'm not hating, because if I was in that place, in their place, I would do the same shit. I'm just highlighting just the truth of this shit. How the way the world set up, the PO, they don't give, this world ain't set up for us to win. We can still get wins out of this shit, but just because we are able to get wins don't mean it was set up for us to win. It just shows how adaptable and badass some of us can be when we need to be, right? Well, yo, people, it's 4 o'clock. I'm not finna go to sleep, but I want to watch an anime. maybe listen to an audio book and vibe out before. I usually stay up to 7 o'clock. I stay up to 6 because I wake my son up. And then I just go on and stay up to wake my daughter up at 7. Then I talk to my wife while she get ready for work. And then I go to sleep. And that's usually how I end my night. So I'm going to get a little me time in. So we're going to sign on out.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share.
If you want to support, hit up my Cash App at $UncBeStreaming. Any donation would be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
Type shit.
DJ K.
Come on, I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activity. I'm doing shit. Fuck all that young shit. I'm cool with shit. Type shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval days, I really do it for the kids. Getting chicks, never gotta work a job. No Viagra, dick still get hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you ever. Aunties get down on the floor. Show these poor ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Week 94. Is she under 24? It's a no. Come on, I'm doing